Most of the die are kind of built into the sheet. So if you, oh, if I brought the sheet back up. So for example, there's in the middle of the sheet, there's something that says attacks and spell casting. You see that?
Yep.
So like if you want to attack something with your rapier, you just click on the rapier button, and then a roll will happen in chat, like so.
Okay.
If you want to shoot at someone, you click light crossbow, and basically, like, higher is better, because the higher something's AC is, the harder it is to hit them. If you want to heal someone, you'd click, like, on healing word, and then it would heal and take away a spell slot, which I have to put back now, because you didn't actually heal someone.
I think you also have to put a bolt back.
Yeah, probably.
Exactly.
So I'm just shooting bolts off into the ether. Where's bolts? Oh, yeah.
He would do that. That's
true.
fine.
He would do that. But yeah, basically those macros are kind of where your actions in combat come from.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, your inventory is underneath as like rapier, light crossbow, yada yada. If you want to use stuff, you just, say you're using it, and like if you expended a torch, you just go from 10 to 9 torches, you just -1. If you get more items, then you would click on the plus at the bottom of the list and just put in like your new item, basically. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And like I said, we'll kind of figure all this stuff out as we go. But I believe everyone is here.
Sorry, I didn't get your name.
I'm Steph. I'm the one you usually hear screaming in the background periodically.
Okay.
My bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Glad you're still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steph will be.
Did you watch Ryan play?
I've listened to him play a lot because I'm usually in the same room.
Okay, so you approximately understand the vibe.
Just do your best impression.
Ryan? Okay.
Of Ryan, yeah. Yeah, I guess everyone's ready. Since we're all here, we can get things rolling. So we're on session 5. It would be Grinkle's turn to scribe, but since you're new, I'm going to say maybe we step over to Robert, who would be next in line.
Sure.
Alright. Put Robert as scribe this week. And Nil. Looks like you were the previous scribe.
Let me just get up.
And you want to give us a recap of the events of last time on the Starry Nights?
Yes, it's quite a lot. So we picked up and we were still fighting the orcs. We finish off the fight, dispatching the rest of the orcs. One of the hobgoblins manages to slip away. After the battle, Jack, the soldier that we had taken to in the first inn, was stabilized, and we managed to save another of the fallen guards. Neil then leads a party to scout the area at 30 minutes to make sure there's no follow-up attack. They stumble upon a clearing, and there is a camp with a lone hobgoblin and a badly wounded woman. Neil makes the move first, protecting the woman from the hobgoblin. Scaring him away, Grinkle shoots at the hobgoblin but doesn't manage to kill him. The woman introduces herself as Melody. After a quick search of the camp and finding a masterwork longsword in a weapons crate for Blackwater, they load the stolen food up onto the cart and make our way back to the caravan with Melody. Shock is surprised that Melody is alive, and they hug. The party then immediately sets out to char and arrives in the morning, very early. Shock then pays us the remaining 30 gold. Robert then introduces us as the Starry Nights, the local guards. We're looking at a place to sell the loot that we got from the orcs. Neil splits off to make sure that Jack makes it through because he's still not out of the woods. Robert then offers 5 gold to the guard who helped us the most with holding the torch chasing the hobgoblin. We then shift to a new character who's woken up inside the town by a priest asking for his help to secure some of the supplies that a new caravan has brought into the town. He's told this new group is called the Starry Nights. This character then comes into the market where they are handing out the food. Robert notices this character in the crowd and recognizes him as Kane, someone he used to know. Kane and Neil introduce themselves to each other. We then go by the Maplewood, where Grinkle is talking to the innkeeper, Vernie, and Grinkle and Kane meet for the first time. We buy a room there for one free night. Neil goes back to Jack to make sure that he makes it through the night. And we decide to make our next decision on our next steps the following morning. Overnight, Kane and Robert decide to catch up on the time they've missed because they haven't seen each other in ages. Grinkle is going to bed, but there is a knock at the door. It's Shock. Shock offers the services of him and the surviving soldiers to the Starry Knights. Neil assists the doctor and manages to save Jack's life. The party then does their long rest. Once we wake up, we mingle in the crowd, and Grinkle tells us about Shock and his offer. Once we do that, we decide to go see the mayor to find out what's happening with the orc attacks. We meet Shock in the market, and we accept his offer, and he joins us with his soldiers and labourers. He reaffirms that we should go to talk to the mayor, but he isn't, or Blackwater, but he says he isn't on best of terms with Blackwater, but won't say why. He then goes and sells the loot we collected. We go to see the mayor. On the way, the captain of the guard wants to talk to us, and we are brought to Captain Grove. He is grateful for more great warriors in the area, as it has only been Kane so far. Kane has been helping, but it hasn't been enough. It seems like the orcs have been sieging the town. He said he feels like they could take the town, but they're waiting for something. He then says he got an insignia from one of the captains. Neil recognises it as the coat of arms of the Irontide. Brave says this could bring war if the council finds out. Neil knows the captain is named Orcard. He thanks us and asks if we want to help. He says we need to thin their number and gather information. We ask if he has any scouts that could help us, as we aren't the stealthiest. He gives us 2 scouts, and we discuss the option of getting a base. He said it's possible if we prove our worth. Shock hired 10 labourers to help us make camp and move around. And then as we're leaving, a well-dressed man appears, offering us an invitation from Blackwater.
All right, thank you for that recap. So another thing I wanted to mention, I did a little bit of work on the party sheet. I just basically kind of cleaned it up a little. I'm not going to do any party inventory for the time being until you get like maybe a house or something where you can keep stuff. So there is your camp though, so you could always leave stuff with your camp. Because I know you guys kind of started building it last time, but you all have the connection to that party sheet, right? In Google Sheets.
I sent a request to it last week, but I did not
I see your request. Let me okay that. Ian. Yes. I'll say you don't. I wouldn't worry about that for now. I'm sorry, I'm going to ask you a bunch. What was your name again?
Stephanie, I think.
Stephanie?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, Stephanie. So, yeah, you don't have to worry about the party sheet just yet.
Okay.
But, yeah, so it is currently the 88th of summer at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. As was kind of stated, you were just approached by that well-dressed man. And just FYI for the sheet, the group quests area, feel free to put your own stuff in there as well. Like, I'm just kind of putting the big item things, but if you just want to make up your own quests and stick them in there, totally fine. You know, as long as you're not, like, making up silly quests that don't actually exist, but, like, actual things you want to do with the group. So feel free. But yeah, what does the group want to do? You are outside the town hall barracks currently. As before, there are people kind of sticking close, and maybe a couple coming up and talking to the group, thanking them for safely getting supplies into town. But for the most part, leaving you alone and just sort of watching you.
Robert looks at the invitation from Blackwater, and he looks at Kane, looks back at the invitation, and then he just shakes his head and says, "Okay, guys, like, maybe not today. I'm not prepared to talk with this family yet.
That sounds
not unless this is a last resort."
I am inclined to agree. are due in large part to the fact that Shuck himself isn't particularly fond of the Black Waters. So perhaps until such time as we collectively agree that it's something we need to do, perhaps we don't.
Yeah, like those nobles. Like, what is the reason why he's inviting us? Like, it's like 100% he wants to use us somehow for his noble games. Like, there is always a reason. There is always some hidden reason for them to invite people like us. Some Game of Thrones or whatever. Some power struggles. I don't want to be pawn on this.
That's a
Let's
good
see
point.
let's see how much he wants to see us. I would just ignore this one for now.
To be fair, it is likely true that even if he does want something from us, which I'm sure he does, he's likely to compensate well for it. To Shuck's point, even though he is a noble, and I don't believe any of us are particularly fond of nobles in general, they can be useful, so keep that in mind as well.
Yeah, can't argue that.
It might
But
be.
I think we wanted.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Do,
Oh, I
do we want to
just
get on his
wanting
bad side?
wanted to remind you guys. Like, did we? I want to remember myself. Did we plan to go and patrol nearby villages and farms to make sure
Yeah,
we
I
can
think
scare?
our current plan was we talk with the scouts, and they're going to lead us to some places to like
Exactly.
thin out the thing. But
So I
I was just going to say, like, they don't take kindly to being ignored. Uh,
That is also true, actually. Either we can go and see him and have some sort of rapport with the man, or if we ignore him outright, we will have made a decision to
Robert read
against him.
Robert reads through the letter again. Is there a sense of urgency there?
It doesn't seem like a sense of urgency. But dealing with nobles, you would know that Kane is absolutely right. There's often a, window of opportunity before like ignoring an invite will be taken as a slight, making it harder to. Because you saw it happen in your old, even with the Blackwaters, like when they were given
Hmm.
invitations. Like an ignoring of an invitation, like while not a direct slight, and can be like taken that way. And actually, sorry guys, real quick, my dog is on meds and really wants to go out, so give me one moment. I'll be
Sure.
right back.
Sure.
You can keep
So
going,
what do you guys
Barbara,
think?
but yeah.
Do you think we need to go and meet him before patrol villages, or do you want to go meet him after we patrol?
I can give him a holding email in person.
I'd say if we're of the opinion that we might like to, well, that we're going to speak to him at some point anyway, we might as well get it out of the way. You never know when he might have some little nugget of information that could influence our timeline.
Yeah, probably. You're just too wise, Kane. You're just too wise for your own good.
People have called me many things, but I don't believe they've ever called me wise.
That's yeah. Maybe just so to say, compared to me.
Cautious, maybe.
Exactly.
What about you, Grinkle? What do you think?
I'm letting you guys take the lead on this one because I'm still trying to just gather like the storyline a little bit.
Sure.
I did read
Mm,
out that previous John as to just tell you basically why we're here and stuff.
Yeah, like
But
it's funny. I'm actually texting Ryan right now because I was like, what is this?
Yeah, so
the
we
short
start as
version is
mercenaries.
yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, we start as mercenaries to protect a caravan. That's why we've been hired with like extra muscle brought in because this town chart has been nothing's been getting through recently. We found out that's due because of the orc attacks, and we're now in the position where we've been hired by the town to find out why the orcs are attacking, thin their numbers, just so more supplies can get through and they don't starve to death, is like our overarching objective at the moment. Blackwater is a noble in this town who has ulterior motives and wants to like use this and for something. And he's given us an instruction that he wants us to do something for him instead of the town at the moment.
Okay, that makes more sense as to why you guys are kind of showed about. It's like someone that you do something for there's always a catch to it, kind of.
Yeah, so they're rich. So the thing he'll ask us to do probably isn't in for altruistic reasons. It's something that he wants, being that he wants something here. Instead, he saving the town might be incidental if he asks us to do that, or he may know more about other things.
Okay. So let's say we don't do the invitation thing. Like, what alternative is there? Like, what's the other route that we would go then?
Yeah, so at the moment, that we could the town has offered us stuff for the thing, but if we don't even like hear him out, he may become annoyed at us for that, and that may not be a good thing, considering that he is quite rich, and we are not quite rich and well connected, and considering that 2 members of our party have crossed his family before and may or may not have faked their deaths to escape. So,
I mean, I would understand why maybe hearing him out wouldn't be a terrible idea then, just to have the information on what exactly he wants.
Yeah, I just know those nobles. Like as soon as we start talking to him, he will just silver tongue his way into our brain, and he will make us do stuff, and we will be too polite to say no. And I'm just not looking forward to this conversation.
All right.
You're just thinking about the money.
Sorry about that. My dog's on steroids, so he has to go out like every 2 hours to pee.
No worries.
All right. So yeah, what did you guys decide on?
I think we
We'll
decided
hear him out.
Yeah, reluctantly. It's better to give the man the attention that he thinks he deserves than to make an enemy of the only noble in this backwater town.
The world, yeah.
Shock nods. He says that might be wise, as he does control most of the resources. All right, so you are heading over there right now.
Yeah. I suppose we'll do this and then we'll head out the town.
All right.
Buy some supplies and head out.
So you travel over to Blackwaters. The estate itself is very large. As you approach, you see there is looks like newly built wall around the place. It's about, you'd say, between 10 and 15 feet tall, and there are now like just a bunch of guards all around. A couple of archers posted up in like high places. It almost looks like you would guess he's fortifying more for some reason. But as you approach, or go ahead.
Looks like someone's expecting us the siege to be broken any day now.
Shock says, well, it makes sense. Things are not going well for the town.
How high can I jump if I'm like 7'10" tall?
You, with a running start, you can jump up to your strength modifier, I believe.
Like up. Can I jump and see over the wall?
How tall are you?
7'10".
And what's your strength modifier?
I think it's 14.
14, so that's plus 2. So you could jump like 2 feet. Probably not. It's probably a little higher than you could
it's
see.
Close. I'm trying.
But, I mean, you do see his massive estate behind it. It definitely looks like the most expensive building in the town, with like 3 stories. And
is there enough room inside the walls to fit the town residents in?
Maybe it would be tight, but you could possibly do it.
Okay.
You know, you doubt Blackwater would agree to that, but maybe.
Well, I mean, how considerably built it slightly.
Yeah.
Just big enough.
Yeah, as you approach, a couple of guards would stop you and say, "Are you here to speak about mercenary hires.
I'll show him the
yes.
letter.
He says, that's right. You're you're that new group in town. The Starry Knights. He says, yes, Blackwater is expecting you. One moment. And he motions for you to follow him. So he would lead you... go ahead.
When walking, Robert, from time to time, looks at Grinkle, at Nil, and Kane. They're all like firbolgs and like beast man, and he never felt so little being 6'1".
Yeah, you're usually the biggest one in any group. So with all these strange-looking allies, it probably is a little odd.
Yeah, I feel like a little girl.
Yeah.
As well as Grinkle.
With my big brothers.
Is Grinkle also taller than you? I thought Grinkle was small.
Well, I think he's a firbolg, so he's just by birth he should be quite tall.
Grinkle, let's see.
I thought I remember him saying he was like 5 something, but I could be.
Was he?
smoking it.
I have actually.
I think he said
maybe
that.
when he's like in his shape changed form,
Yes.
like in disguise.
Yes.
But
6 feet tall.
Shape
is he? Okay, so he's a tiny firbolg.
Yeah, he's
Then
small for
fine.
Firbolg, but he's around more towards your height. All right.
Okay, then we're fine.
Yeah. So
Short kings.
short. Yeah. All right. So as you
6
are
foot.
led inside, yeah. How tall are you, Neil? Are you the super tall one in this group?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
7'10".
7'10".
Yeah, so you're a monster.
Exactly.
All right. So yeah, as you are led inside into the main hall, you would see this large open space, probably where Blackwater would usually greet guests, but it's just filled with these like crates and like maybe temporary bookshelves, and there are just people all over the place. People like you, generally like kind of armored looking, not your normal everyday peasants, look like mercenaries. A couple of them notice you come in, but continue to work on what they are working on, paying very little heed. The guard would lead you past them. Some of them being kind of like your group, like a little exotic, but more like elves and halflings than like, furbogs. You guys are definitely the strangest looking creatures in the room. So you're led past these mercenaries to a smaller man. He's probably, he's like 5'8". He would see you approaching and smile and say, you must be the Starry Knights. He says, my name is Lord Blackwater. It is good to meet you. He gives you a polite bow. He says, I was quite impressed to hear of your exploits getting the caravan into town. With all the failure I've had to deal with lately, it's nice to meet some competent individuals. Welcome to my estate. He says, there's a little bit of silence, and he would smile and say, I have something I would request of your group, if you are currently looking for work. He says, as you may have noticed, I have quite a few mercenaries around, both to help with the current siege as well as to prepare for my next, what is it called? My next venture. He says, which will also be quite dangerous. He says, I was hoping you would help me with the former. He says, what do your services usually run? How much would you expect for payment for doing jobs?
Depends on the job.
How much?
Danger. How long it was.
He says, well, our first goal would of course be the safety of the town. So I would like you to possibly get a better idea of the enemies in the surrounding area and perhaps thin them out a bit. Is this something you think you could do?
Yes. Yeah.
Well,
I think
this was actually what we were about to do.
Wait, did you say that, or
Negotiating.
did he stop?
No. I try and I put my hand on his shoulder to
I
stop
don't
him
know.
from giving
Robert
away
is very direct.
All right.
He doesn't
He
know that.
says, oh, well, excellent. Then we have common goals already. Well, I know from some of my scout reports that they believe there's some sort of base to the west of town, though we don't know the exact location yet. These mercenaries do seem to be much more organized than the normal banditry one deals with around these parts. So I was hoping maybe you could head west and seek out this base location, and as I said, maybe thin out their numbers a bit. He says, if you were able to... Go ahead.
But what about the farms that are being attacked? Shouldn't we try to protect them?
He says, well, while it is unfortunate that the surrounding farmland is being raided, I think disrupting the chain of command of these mercenaries should be our first goal. Says the farmland.
Is it raided by the same entity that is holding camp to the west?
Says that's our
Yeah,
thought. I think this is all being perpetrated by the same group. He says, I don't know too much about them yet. I'm hoping this job will also reveal more about their organization and intentions. He says, so how much would a job like that usually run me to find the base of such a group and maybe dispatch with their leadership?
Do you know the
how
name
much?
of the group?
How much did we get for escorting the caravan?
60 gold.
Each?
Yeah.
Was it okay? 60 gold each. So
it was a pretty good pay. Well, yeah, for that type of work, that was a pretty high payday just for a score. I mean, the circumstances warranted it, but yeah, it's not usually pays that well.
Yeah. I want to ask him, do you have any information on the group? Do you know their name or identity, for instance?
He says, well, I know they seem to, or at least my scouts tell me that the higher-ups have some sort of symbol with a wave crashing against a shield. I don't know much about the pageantry.
Irontide. Robert just tells immediately.
Says, oh, you're
by
familiar
bargaining chips.
Yeah, he's just throwing bargaining chips over. He says, oh, so you are familiar with them. He says, it's good to know this. Or at least we can put a name to the enemy. What else do you know about them? And how do you know this?
Well, they did attack the caravan that we protected when coming to Char.
And just really quick, Grinkle, you are pretty good at persuasion. So if you ever feel like chiming in, I mean, you don't have to, obviously, but yeah, if you feel like chiming in, feel free to just speak when you feel comfortable. Like you don't have to wait for an opening or anything. But
yeah, I'm taking in the info. I'm being a sponge.
All right, no worries.
Continue.
So he says, how do you know the name? If you've seen the symbol, do you know it from somewhere? Perhaps in your past soldiering?
I don't actually remember, Lou, honestly. I remember that we were told about Irontide. I don't remember who told us that we know that this is Irontide.
I recognized it. I've been on Guyane for a long 20 years, searching for answers. I've run into them a few times when I headed out to the desert. Not a great bunch of people. I was warned about them, and especially their leader.
Really, I did notice you were of a strange lineage. I didn't realize you weren't even native to our world. Well, where are you from?
The Feywild. As I take off my helmet as well, and he can see I have a special feature which is like sad eyes.
What would you look like to, since we have someone new playing Grinkle, what would you look like?
Yeah.
Me? Oh, sorry. Okay.
Oh no, I'm saying what I look like because
because you hadn't heard his description before.
Let me just get it up. It's in the character thing.
Yeah, you kind of have the picture there, but in case you want to...
Yeah, so that's with the helmet on as well.
Yeah.
So he is his 7'10" is an intimidating presence. He has dark purple to navy skin, which you can see sparingly through his armor because it's covered mostly by the chainmail in his helmet. The face underneath the helmet is tired and stressed. The visions that he has suffered have taken a toll on his features. Heavy bags lay under his eyes, which, whilst not betraying his desperation, show that he has seen horror and great sadness.
So
it's just quite a sad-looking Gallo.
Blackwater regards you for a moment and says, now, I believe this war group, Iron Tide, you said, they are led by hobgoblins. Aren't those some sort of Feywild, or aren't they a Feywild race?
I?
He says, I assume that there's no connection there to you at all, or anything else you could tell me about why they're here.
I don't know why they're here. I know there's been a mercenary company around ongoing longer than I have. Is that true? But
he says, well, that's good information to have. Perhaps I can do some more research on this warband now that I have a name to put with them. I'll say everyone give me... Well, I'll say nil, because you have a pretty good passive insight. Give me an insight check, an active one. You might get something here. 23.
Ooh.
So you almost feel like Blackwater, when you talked about the Iron Tide, there was almost like a hint of like recognizing something about what you said, even though he didn't fully acknowledge it. So you almost feel like he's not telling you everything he knows. Like he might actually know something about the Iron Tide that he's not saying.
okay.
But anyway, he oh yeah, I guess let's see. Yeah, Kane, do you want to give a little description of your character as well, since as I said, Grinkle is new, or the player is new to the group?
Yep, happy to do so. So the picture on Roll20 is pretty accurate. I changed my picture a couple times until I found one that I really vibed with. I am a 7'2", so also quite tall. Quite muscular. Not particularly academic looking, like not astute or anything like that. Fairly charming, just eloquent, have a decent way with words. Wear heavy armor and have a quite a large greatsword on my back. I am sort of a wolf type humanoid, which is likely a sort of a creature that you have not seen before, though anything is possible.
All right. So he would say, yes, I think for now a good first step for our efforts would be to seek out any type of maybe party of them, or any organized group that is to the west, and perhaps question them, or maybe if any of you are woodsmen, maybe you can even track down the location of this base. He says, unless you have a better idea, of course. I mean, this is more your specialty than mine. I have no idea how one fights a warband that's attacking a small frontier town.
But do you expect us to find their base and drive them away? Destroy them, kill them? Like what is the purpose? Like, what is the main purpose for you?
He says, I think you might have to. I doubt they will welcome a peace treaty. They don't seem like they have much wish to speak. But, I mean, my overall goal, of course, is to preserve the town. So if you can find another way of getting rid of them. I mean, do whatever you think is best. He says, but the end goal is to stop the attacks and have them leave the area. So, as you said, the farms could be reclaimed. He says maybe gather some information while you're at it.
Okay. You said something about scouts. Did your scouts tell you approximately how many hobgoblins and orcs we're talking about?
He says we've had
Because
some...
this would heavily influence the amount of money that we would require.
Because
Because
that makes sense.
this could be like a multiple week operation if there are like 100 of them.
He says, oh no, I've been told there are small war bands moving around, mostly looting and moving supplies, as well as keeping an eye on the gates. Again, I'm not sure of the motive of doing this, but our guess is there are between 20 and 50 in the area. Though it's from the initial attacks, it does. We do think there might be a larger group who have made base somewhere else, but in the immediate area, it's a smaller number.
Okay.
He says, so, I mean, for this first, because I'm assuming this will take, as you said, some time and maybe us working together. What do you think is fair for just clearing out the overall area around the town and making it safe for the farms once more?
Rob looks around everyone and says, well, guys, we got 60 for our caravan job. I think 100 each is fair. What do you think, guys?
150 each.
Give me a persuasion check.
Based on my experiences in the past, what do I think a reasonable wage for a job like this would actually be?
So this is definitely specialized work. It's not something that normal soldiers can do. You need like a much more heavily trained team, especially if you go the route of fighting and like either taking them all prisoner or killing them. 100 gold is actually somewhat reasonable. 100 each because there's 4 of you, so 400 gold for the job isn't a bad price. 150 is pushing it. It also would kind of depend on how many, enemies you do end up fighting. So you're taking a little bit of a gamble, because if there's a lot more than what he says, then, you already agreed to it.
Right.
So yeah, give me persuasion checks. I'll say Robert and Nil, because you guys are the ones asking for the money.
Yeah, damn it. The worst, like really the worst charisma characters out of all.
I'm going to spend one of my inspirations. This seems like
so
a
you're
good time
going
to do it.
to make a check with advantage. Oh.
Oh, I thought that was nil for a second.
Oh.
Oh.
So he says 150. It seems a bit high. I think. Well, I would say 75 is much more reasonable. 75 each. Says it's still a lot of gold. Quite the large amount.
I will just shut up and let professionals deal with negotiations.
Oh, okay.
Everyone looks at Grinkle.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna like chime in actually. Is it my understanding you said there was, like how many people that they think might be in this Iron Tide?
20 to 50?
Yeah, his scouts have told him between 20 and 50.
I mean, there's actually not just in the surrounding area.
Yeah, well, he also mentioned that they might have a larger force further out, and this might be the people they kind of left behind to keep the siege going.
And so if that's kind of the assumption from his scouts, I mean, you can assume that there's probably more than 20 to 50 in total. If we're going in attacking this like smaller group, there's a real risk that this bigger group potentially could come, right? So I think it's reasonable for the price to be a little bit higher based off of that risk alone.
This is what
that
you
makes
say
sense?
to him.
Sure.
He kind of pauses a moment, considering what you say. Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
I was also going to ask Lou, what is your approach to like repeated checks? I was thinking about chiming in, but I was not sure if the moment had passed, so to speak.
So for this section of the conversation, you get one, and if the conversation keeps going, then you might get more. And depending on how many good checks you get, kind of contributes towards your success. So right now,
Okay, all right.
it hasn't been great because we have like a 2 and a 9.
Right.
But yeah, go ahead and click on perception in your skills, Grinkle.
Persuasion.
Oh, it's not
Persuasion.
persuasion, right?
Persuasion. Yeah, I do that. 22.
If I may, I
Yeah.
will also say that Grinkle has the right of it. It could be that we come up across numbers just as you've laid them out, but I think there's a decent chance that we find that which we were not expecting. Additionally, I think there is some value in the information that my good friend here, Robert, has afforded to you that you did not have before. So, even though the price may be a bit steep, if it helps to think about it slightly differently, you could say that some of it goes toward information garnered by this exchange.
Give me a persuasion check as well. 13. He says, I suppose you do make some good points. He says, all right, how about 110 each? It's more than I'd like to pay, but as you said, reinforcements could arrive.
That seems reasonable.
This is excellent. Then we have a deal. He looks at Kane and he says, by the way, I was curious. What manner of race are you? I don't think I am familiar with your kind.
I'm not sure that there is a good name for us. In fact, I've seen very few indeed of my kind, though a few acquaintances I've made over the years have taken to calling us Lupin.
Interesting. I wonder if you have Feywild roots as well. Oh, in any case, yes. If an agreement is made, I will say 110, and we have a deal. And he puts his hand out to, I'll say, shake Grinkle's hand. He seems to have taken a liking to him. That 22.
All right. I guess I'll shake it.
Yeah, he gives you a smile and says, is there anything that you will be needing from me? He says, I do have some supplies, things that you might not find in the normal marketplace, especially right now. If you need food, weaponry, ammunition, I can sell it to you for a reasonable price.
I don't know, I kind of have all I need, but probably my friends may need something.
As well.
I think we just need to stock up on rations and stuff before we go. I think we've got the camp stuff sorted.
Says, well, just speak to my quartermaster over there, the one unpacking the crates. He can get you set up with whatever you need. There also might be some looting that has occurred in some of the farmlands. If you recover anything like some sort of art object or something valuable, I might be interested in purchasing it off you. So just keep me in mind. I have a collection that I am looking to add to. Says, if there's nothing else, I will bid you good day. Good luck to you, Starry Knights.
When he adds that little piece at the end, it seems. I mean, it could be perfectly reasonable request. It seems a little bit out of pocket. Do I get the sense that he's looking for something, or just that he is legitimately a collector and wants nice stuff?
Give me an insight check.
Yeah, so it goes.
It did seem a little strange, but yeah, you might just shrug it off. So yeah, unless anyone else is saying anything, he is going to leave. Alright, so what does the group wish to do? You are currently within the Blackwater estate. As I said, there are a bunch of other mercenaries here, but they're kind of doing their own thing.
I was just gonna ask, it was Nil, right? That's maybe come across this plan before, Irontide before?
Yep.
Is there anything that I mean, I don't know 100% what we all have and stuff yet, like inventory-wise, but is there anything that Nil can think of that would be particularly useful for this clan? With respect to, like, buying stuff off this guy. I don't know if that's
As long as we don't get ambushed again, I can make it so that they don't have as much vision in the darkness, but torches. They like striking from the shadows and ambushes. Shields, if you can use one. Really, because the most dangerous ones tend to be the hobgoblin archers. They don't tend to want to get up close like the orcs.
Yeah,
but-
I think, doesn't Grinkle have a light spell that he used a couple of times?
Yeah,
So-
but I think he also just has dark vision as well.
Oh,
but
yeah,
I also I can share my 300-foot special wall hacks with people, my good dark vision, if I don't get ambushed. So,
I think you
enough
can
food.
even if you are ambushed. You just need to spend
Just takes
like
a turn
an
showing it.
action.
Yeah. I
Okay,
mean,
fine.
generally speaking, for travel, like anything you think you'd normally need for travel, like, like tents, like sleeping bags. I think a lot of that stuff Grinkle has already. Other things,
Okay.
like you mentioned, torches, shovels, pickaxes, what else? Food. Rations are a big one. You don't want to get caught someplace where you can't forage for food and then just start starving. So rations are always good. Ropes, grapple hooks, just kind of anything you could think of that you might need.
I will try to get because I really like this idea, and we suffered a lot with the lack of light last time. So I will try to get a hooded lantern.
All right. Well, you can buy anything off his quartermaster at book price, any of the normal gear.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can just use the book prices and do those.
On the topic of carrying stuff, are we using a regular encumbrance or a variant encumbrance?
My encumbrance rule is a little different. It's 10 times your strength score, and you
So
can...
neither of those things.
Yeah, it's 10 times your strength score, and you can do up to 15 times at light encumbered, which I think is like minus 10 feet. It's not too bad, just lowers your speed a bit. If you go over 15, then you're heavy encumbered. So you don't want to go over 15 times your strength score.
Well, that's good to know, because this is not what speed calculates.
Yeah, the sheet does the I think the default one, right?
Does that?
Or is
Yep.
it do
Yeah.
the 5 times one?
It's 15, I think it does.
Yep.
Yeah.
15 is
So
the default.
yeah, so it's just a little bit under the default. It would just be between 10 and, well, you can do up to 15. You just get a little bit of a speed decrease. But,
Yeah, it appears I was always encumbered.
oh, all right.
I mean, does that work? Because part of Furbogs is that they can carry more stuff. Is there?
Yes.
Actually,
So
yeah, that's a
I
good
think
point.
Furbogs do double those. So you would be
Mhm.
at 20 times and 30 times for Furbogs.
Okay.
I hope you always wanted to be a pack mule.
Everyone just has all
I
the
did.
lanterns strapped to them and all the backpacks.
I will carry your burdens.
We don't need a mule. We got Nil over there. He's just clanking as he
Exactly.
walks. Clank, clank, clank. All right. So yeah, what? So you said you're purchasing a lantern.
Yeah, hooded lantern.
Okay. So yeah, that's fine.
I want to buy 30 rations. How much are rations?
I believe they're a gold piece a day, so it'd be like 30 GP. You'll have 30 days. And remember, you can leave all this stuff with your camp as long as you have enough people to carry it. Your camp is always considered following you, so it's kind of like in the background. You can leave it places, because some really dangerous places you might not want to bring it in. But yeah, you can always leave supplies with your camp.
Mm.
Mm,
This actually
rations.
looks weird because it's not that I'm carrying too much. I'm just carrying normal stuff, and I'm already at like 185. Why would
That
that be?
seems weird. I mean, your armor is probably your most heavy thing. I can take a look at
Yeah,
the
of
sheet here.
course, but that's normal. It will always be.
Do you
Yeah,
have multiple great axes in there still?
Yeah.
That
No, no,
is
no,
it.
no, no. We
Oh, okay.
sold it all. So probably miner's pick. It
Yeah, I
is
mean,
heavy.
certain tools are heavier. I mean, you could always leave those with the camp. The
Uh,
only issue with that is, if you need them right away, you'd have to go back to the camp to get them, which takes time. But yeah,
mhm.
you can always leave some of your stuff with the camp or throw them on your fur bog.
Okay,
Throw
Nil.
them on your field.
Nil, I can I give you rope and miner's pick because those are really heavy.
Yes.
50 foot of hemp rope and miner's pick, 10 pounds each.
Alright, so you hand those over to Nil, who I assume just straps them to
Mhm.
his back.
Yeah.
I always forget that fur bog thing that they can just carry a whole lot.
And by the way, backpack. Is backpack doing some kind of reduction? Because if I just look at my inventory, backpack is just extra weight.
It's I mean, it's good to have so you can justify having your stuff. Because unless you're like,
Okay.
strapping everything to your belt, which your pants will probably
No, no,
fall
no.
down
Okay,
after a
okay,
while.
okay. Okay.
Let me see. Get rid of some
Also,
javelins, I guess. Wait, the oil might be wrong. Oil isn't 5 pounds each. I think that might be where all your weight is coming from. You see that?
Is it 5 points? Is it 5 together? Probably.
Yeah, it's probably
Maybe
25 pounds. Though.
that's why. Yes.
That would be my
Mm,
guess, just looking at your.
I'll try now to just add it.
Yeah, because oil flasks are definitely not 5 pounds each.
we don't know how big they are.
Oil's
It could be like a
pound each?
2
Really? Oh wow. Okay, I guess oil's heavier than I thought it was.
I mean, a gallon
Oh
of
no,
milk,
there it is.
you know.
Okay, so yeah, they're a pound each. That makes more sense.
Okay.
Okay, so that was
Okay,
I
I'm
don't-
more or less
I don't-
okay now.
Yeah, I don't see any rations in Grinkle's items, so I guess.
Yeah, you might want to buy some of those. Oh, also,
Yeah.
for some
I-
reason, it says
a
aren't
gold-
rations
they're
1 pound
cheaper.
a day? Because it says they're 2 on your sheet, Robert. That might be another mistake. Unless I'm wrong.
I think they are. I think iron rations are smaller, but rations are quite. Rations are 2 pounds from what I see.
Okay.
But
Liar.
I
Yeah,
will
so-
live. I will live like half. I'm not gonna carry like 20 pounds. I live half, and I do have survival. So if something, I'll just like anyone wants 5 rations.
Those
I can just give it
are,
to Green.
Those are also a good thing to leave with your camp, just like a whole bunch of food, and then you can always grab it when you need it. Like, you
Are
want
these
to have
five
some on
green?
yourself, in case you get stuck somewhere. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How much?
So Grinkle, you asked about rations. I believe they're a gold piece per day's worth.
Okay.
And they weigh 2 pounds each if you want to buy some.
And then my gold is the GP or whatever I
Yeah,
have
gold pieces. Yeah.
Okay.
It says
Yeah.
5 silver in the book, but is that different? here?
Yeah.
Just-
Oh,
Yeah, I
does
was
it?
gonna
Okay,
say.
I don't know what I'm talking
Yep.
about. Okay, 5 silver. Yeah, cheaper than I thought.
Oh.
Alright, so they are 5 silver each, not the gold.
Well, Grinkle doesn't really have any silver, so
So,
guess I won't be getting that.
10 silver pieces is a gold. So if you do a gold, that's 2 days of rations, basically. Yeah, it's like just a smaller denomination.
Okay, then let's do. I get. It's like 10 a reasonable amount of rations to get.
That's something I carry on me.
Yeah, I mean 10's not bad. Usually 5 or over is pretty good. If you have someone who can forage, which I'm not sure, does anyone in this group have survival?
I do.
Yeah, so if you have someone who can forage, they can usually feed most of the group as long as they're in an area where they can forage. But the problem is if you're like in a dungeon or some ruin that doesn't have like a lot of wildlife or berries, that's when
Right.
you might have to go to the rations.
All right. Well, I mean, I'll need some anyway. Okay, so then maybe just like 5.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. So that would be what, 2.5 gold? So 2 gold, 5 silver. Yeah, like 3 gold, you get a 5 silver change.
Okay.
All right, so you do a bit of shopping from the quartermaster.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now what? I'll say it's probably about 1:30 at this point. With all the talking and some travel and shopping.
So did he say that the encampment is to the west?
Yeah,
Yes.
so his people are very, they're highly suspicious that they have the majority of their forces west of here, which is why they think the camp might be that way.
So yeah, so I think we should just take a couple of his scouts, because we are
Well,
not
the scouts
good.
the town have.
Or yeah, we
town's
can
already
take.
given us.
Yeah, we could take those, and we could just go west and try to see what's going on there.
Okay.
Try to see if we can catch some hobgoblins ambushing farms, or maybe just find their camp.
I think
Alright.
Shark had said that he was going to have his people ready by tonight. Is that correct?
Yeah, so he's basically building your camp right now. He's going to all the caravan people who survived and getting them into your employ. So he just said sometime today, I believe, but tonight for sure.
Okay.
Right.
Let's go find him.
All right. So
Sounds good to me.
on your way out, Galen would walk up to you again and say, "Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. I would ask that if I am going to be, paying you well and helping you, that you be working for me. If you were approached with other offers for employment, that you would turn them down in favor of this one. I hope that's reasonable."
Who was this? Blackwater?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Certainly, I have no intention of turning my back on an agreement that we have made. Though, I guess one follow-up question I would have would be if we receive an offer for employment that does not conflict with the job that has been laid out by you. Is that something that you would find disagreeable? Or are you specifically saying that, if we are told to do the same thing that you're telling us to do, we just don't do it for someone else? I guess where is the line?
He says, my request is more that information you find is brought to me and only me, that these jobs, to help with the town's liberation, you will be working for me, and if others approach you, you will not do jobs related to that for them. He says, I don't mind if you tell the mayor what's going on, as I trust her, but there are other individuals in the town that I don't necessarily trust, and I don't want too much information on the happenings getting out.
That's fair.
Can you remind me in what context? Because I remember a couple of games ago, we talked with Shock about some kind of a dagger. It somehow came up while we were defending the caravan or after.
Mm-hmm.
Can you remind me what we know about it and what did we talk about it?
Yeah, so it was basically smuggled out of Highguard. Shock had people who kind of, your guess is he stole it, or his people stole it, to be smuggled here into Char on request of this guy, Galen Blackwater. As far as you know, Shock claims it was stolen during the attack, which is why Blackwater's pissed off at him. So the dagger is currently missing, the one that he was trying to smuggle into Char. During the attack on the caravan, I mean. You believe someone
Okay.
stole it, or he
Gotcha.
believes. Yeah.
You had
So-
mentioned that there are other people in town that you are leery of information getting out to. Is there anything that you'd be willing to tell us about these individuals between us and you as our employer? Anything that you can tell us about them, I think, would be to our mutual benefit.
Give me a persuasion at disadvantage. Says the individuals I don't want you working with. I think it's best that they stay unknown for the time being. I'm hoping it doesn't even become an issue, but I worry talk about them might make you more curious to find them. He says, but just trust me that it's in the best interest of everyone if you just work with myself and, of course, the mayor.
When he says "just trust me," do I think that is? Do I think that he's being earnest there, or?
You can give me an insight check.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
You're not sure. You don't get a good reading.
Yeah. I'll turn to my companions and I'll just give them like a shrug, like a, might as well kind of look.
Alright, so if no one says anything, he'll nod and he says, I appreciate the discretion. Thank you. And he'll just kind of let you go about your business. Alright, so what do you all want to do? You're at the estate. You said you were heading out, right?
Yep.
I think so. Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, I think like Rob, he just checks his inventory once more, makes sure it's not as heavy anymore, and is ready to go and scout. And probably we need to wait for scouts that the town promised.
Alright, and remind me, where did you set up your camp? Like which inn?
The Maplewood, I think.
Maplewood.
Maplewood? Alright, I'm just gonna mark that on the map. So I remember.
It's on fire.
It's on fire! Yeah. Alright, so you head to the Maplewood, to where your camp is.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So yeah, you'd find Shock there at the tavern. He is speaking with Melody, and you see a bunch of the guards from the caravan, who are of course happy to see you. They come over and give you hugs and say, "Ah, the Starry Nights. It's good to see you healthy and about." Shock says, "I pretty much have our camp ready. It took a lot less time than I thought. The soldiers." Quite taken by your group and its abilities. He says, and I was contacted by those scouts. I assume they are friends of yours?
The town has offered us their services to help track down the location
Goblins
of they're where they're raiding from.
Says, well, I believe they are here as well. So yes, whenever you're ready, I have our camp assembled.
Okay.
Yeah, I leave a couple of
We'll get to
things,
do.
and I just kind of leave a couple of torches, rations, and like a javelin. I just want to offload a little bit into the camp.
Yeah, anyone who wants to, you can leave stuff in the Starry Nights camp. Just make sure you put the weights as well as the stuff. And if you ever want to get more people, guards or laborers to carry stuff, you can hire them from the town. You just have to ask Shock to look into it.
Okay.
Right now, I think you have 10 laborers and 8 guards.
Yep.
Yeah, the more guards you have basically is kind of your camp hit points. So if the camp is attacked, usually you'll lose some guards, and basically the more you have, the more defendable your camp is. And the laborers are just how much your camp can carry times 100 per laborer.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, what do you want to do?
I think we should head out.
Yep.
Don't give
out
them time
west.
to recoup because they're still reeling from our route yesterday. So if we can get on them quickly, we can pick up their trail.
Right. Just before we go, though, I think it would be appropriate if we get Shock up to speed on recent developments. I will approach Shock and I will say we had a bit of a conversation with Galen Blackwater. Turns out that the thing that he had requested of us is more or less that which we intended to do anyway. So we're heading west to look into these orcs and hobgoblins and to route them on his dime. So for now, it seems our interests are aligned. I thought you might want to know what it was that he was curious about.
He nods and says, "Well, it seems like a good start. I'm not all that fond of Blackwater, as I said, but at least we seem to have similar aims." Says, "So yeah, I'm ready to head out whenever you all are. I'll have our people ready to go. Just give the word."
Ready?
We are ready.
All right.
Let's go.
So the group
Let's go.
is your goal to just sort of travel and kind of look for trouble? Like, what exactly are you doing once you go on the road?
So want to tell the scouts? Have they also discovered that it's like coming mostly from the west? Do they know that?
So they would say, well, we have encountered a bit more of it on the west. That's true, but yeah, we don't know anything about it more being on the west. I would trust Blackwater's assessment, though. He has a lot more mercenaries than the town does.
Okay. Then yeah, I guess we just look for tracks of like when they headed out to attack our caravan a few days ago, or when like they did the retreat of a few coming back in. Just looking for like movement to try and find a place to lead back to.
Alright, so you're spending time kind of looking, basically looking for possible enemies, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to be passing some time as you travel, making some rolls. Let me know if you need the camera to do some RP or if you want to do anything while I'm doing this. Otherwise, time will just be passing.
There's actually one
Okay.
question. One question that I had of Shock that I forgot about.
Yeah.
It could have happened on the day we were leaving or at any time thereafter. But I would say to him, "Oh, by the way, during our conversation with Galen, he more or less made our services exclusive, specifically out of some fear that he had that specific people in Shar might come by the information we discover. Do you have any insight into who he might have been referring to? I myself don't have any interest in, spilling the beans, but I thought it might behoove us to know who we should be avoiding."
Are you saying this in front of the rest of the group or kind of off to the side?
In the front of our group.
Your people, okay.
But
So,
not any of the camp.
yeah. So he says, well, it's not unusual that nobility asks for exclusivity when you work for them, but I can't imagine who would be a competitor to someone like Blackwater and Char. I mean, everyone here they're farmers and laborers. I mean, maybe the city, but the government, from what you said, is working with him. So no, I have no idea who else could be a possible threat to him here, or not a threat, but a rival.
All right. Thanks anyway.
Says, yeah, but I'll keep an ear out. Maybe I can figure something out.
Perfect.
So
I think there were a couple of people who were starting to say something.
yeah.
You guys
Anyone
wanted to
else?
No, I just wanted to. How long are we traveling?
It sounded like you all are just sort of exploring the outskirts of town to the west, looking for possible Iron Tide people.
Yep.
Okay.
I just need to know how many candles and stuff I need to burn. I'm also going to be using the masterwork sword that Blackwater donated to our cause.
Why not knowing about
For
it?
the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to bring it up, but it's my final thing.
All right. So let's see. Time is passing. I'll say Robert, and actually Nil and Robert. While you are moving west of the town, maybe like a few miles out, you pass by a couple of the abandoned farmlands. Yeah, you would notice several of the buildings are looted. One of them has been burned down. Obviously,
Hmm.
the Iron Tide have been here.
Okay, I
The
think
booze?
I would go and investigate. I just want
Yeah.
to like Robert wants to learn more about the attackers. Like how does it look? Like what kind of tracks do we see? Do we see orc tracks? Do we see like ogre tracks? Like approximately, I want to understand about the composition of the attackers.
Sure. So, give me. I'll start with your investigation. Because you said you want to investigate. Give me an investigation
Sure.
check.
I'll
And
to you as well. And I'll also do it to myself as well.
all right, so D4. Okay. So yeah, it looks like at least this first house that was looted was mostly abandoned when it was attacked. You don't see much sign of a struggle, just more of like people moving through and looting. Survival might tell you more. DC is 10 on this. So yeah, you definitely have some tracks. It looks like the group that looted this house was fairly large. Probably took them, I don't know, maybe like an hour to loot the house and like the surrounding area. And it looks like they moved northwest from here. You'd guess there was about 5 of them. So I guess not that large.
What can I tell? What can we tell about the composition of the group? Where are they all humanoid size, like iron boots? What could I like? Do they? Does it look like there were hobgoblins and orcs? Was there someone else?
And you have proficiency in survival, right? Like you're trained.
Yes.
So the 20, I'll say, yeah, they're definitely humanoids. None of them were large or, smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Probably bigger creatures because the footprints are maybe a little bit deeper. You probably see some scrapes against the rock, meaning that these were most likely armored individuals. Probably not the
Mm-hmm.
orcs you fought. Maybe someone a little bit, better outfitted. What else? Yeah, that's probably about what you get with a 20. Oh, and this probably happened a couple of days ago. The tracks are kind of old.
I'm turning toward the group and I'm telling them everything and saying that, guys, shall we try to follow the tracks? It actually may lead us to the camp. Because probably they went back to where they came from after they finished the looting.
It might be right. It sounds like a reasonable approach to me. If they're taking everything of value out of this house, they would have needed to take it back somewhere.
Yes, and I feel I have pretty good sense of the track and the tracks they've left. So I think we can try to follow it.
All right, so you are attempting to follow. It's about 3:30 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Give me actually no, never mind. All right, so you are moving through a wooded area. When I'll say nil, with your passive perception, you think you see movement up ahead.
Okay, I signal to stop. Everyone to hold up.
And
And I
luckily, Yeah, so you are not surprised when it seems like a group of enemies comes out of the brush, or what you assume are enemies because they do not look nice. So give me one moment. They looks like there are several orcs, as well as one of the hobgoblins with them, and another orc who looks a bit odd to you. But yeah, let me get this set up. So yeah, no surprise. Luckily,
Do you mind if we take a quick break before the battle?
Oh, yeah, sure. If you want to take a 10-minute before the encounter, that's fine.
Seems
Sure,
like a
it would be.
good time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Prudent.
it may take a while otherwise.
Okay. Yeah.
All right,
Go
cool.
for it.
Sure.
So 10.
Yeah, I'll do 10-minute break.
Very good.
Are you still there, Grinkle?
Yep.
Stephanie?
Mhm.
Any questions so far?
No, I'm just looking at what here.
All right.
Really interesting arrangement of weapons.
Alright, is everyone back?
I am, but
I am present.
Stephanie, are you here?
Yep. Oh, sorry, I didn't know if you. I was downstairs. I was there to came to the mic, but I'm here.
Alright. So, just for combat, give you a little idea of like what sort of things you do. Usually the bard has an ability called Vicious Mockery, which I believe Grinkle has, which you can use to mock enemies to make them worse at their attacks, which means your people get hit less.
Mhm.
So that's kind of your default. Like you can do that without spending any resources. You just have to be within 60 feet of the enemy, I believe. You also have some spells, which are kind of listed below. Those are more powerful, but you can only do up to 3 of those per day. So basically you have 3 spell slots, and each time you cast a spell, you use one of your spell slots in that list. So after you cast 3 spells, you can't cast magic again until you do a long rest.
Yep.
But those are more powerful abilities, like you can heal your friends, you can try to put the enemy to sleep. You just have to concentrate, or you have to make sure you know what the range of a lot of those are, because you have to make sure you're within range to do them. Silvery Barbs is also an interesting one, because you can force an enemy in range to re-roll their attack. So if he's about to hit someone, and like you think it's going to be a really... Like if he rolls a critical strike, that might be a good time to use Silvery Barbs. That'll force him to re-roll. That uses your reaction. So just a few things you can do to keep in mind.
All right.
Assuming we have combat, but it's looking like these guys don't want to talk.
And you do have a crossbow, I think, as well, right? That you can just...
Yes.
and a rapier.
Yes.
And yeah, you also can shoot your crossbow or stab with your rapier. But anyway... Alright, so I think everyone was back. So, you are moving through a forested area. And you see the enemies up ahead. As I said, there are 3 orcs, one of which you had not seen before. So let me send you a picture of this one. The others look like the ones that you fought in the past. This one looks like this. Has more of a shaman look to him. And there's also what looks like a hobgoblin further back. Like back here. Alright, so give me initiative rolls, because they seem hostile at the moment. So when you first encounter creatures, if they're hostile, they're usually going to try to attack you. You can either, fight them, you can try to, make them stop attacking if you have a good reason, like to try to declare peace or a ceasefire. Basically whatever you think you could do. If your skills warrant it, you could try it. But to roll initiative, you click on your token, and at the top of the screen there should be an init button. You just click that.
There we go. All right. Yep, got it.
Alright. Oh, I didn't even check this. Okay, good, they are working. Wait,
Mine is not sending from D&D Beyond, so I'm just gonna do it manually. I don't know how to type it in there.
Yeah. If you click on your I can give you an initiative button too. So if you click on your token, you should see an init button at the top of the screen.
Oh, I do now. Yes.
Yeah, I
Okay.
just added one for you.
Excellent.
Alright, so everyone's on there. So as these guys are charging forward, the first to act is unfortunately going to be the enemy. Alright, so what is he gonna do?
Ooh.
So he steps forward and begins to yell something. Do any of you speak Orcish?
I do not.
So he slams his staff into the floor, and there's a crackle of thunder as a glowing spear suddenly appears in the area, coming towards you. Wait, sorry, let me just check something on that. Also should not be showing the roll, so hang on. Alright, so what's the range on this? Okay, that is in range. Alright, so yeah, a spear will appear right in front of you. Kane, flying towards you and stabbing, and I believe a 21 is going to hit you.
That's correct.
Alright, so the spiritual weapon, that looks like a spear, stabs you as it flies up, hitting you for 5 force damage. As you are knocked back a bit, though still yet unwounded. And if you do take damage, just to let your people kind of know your condition, if you're above half, you put the symbol on yourself, the winded symbol. It means you're using stamina to fight, but you're not to a point where you've taken a wound yet, which is above half hit points. So that's it.
And I see that some of our tokens, I can see bars, and some of them I can't. What is the intent for visibility of our health bars?
Which ones can you see bars on?
I can see Nils and Roberts, but I cannot see Grinkles.
That is incorrect.
I can't see mine either.
Well, you should see yours. You can see Nils. And you said
Roberts.
Alright, let me fix that. Yeah, you should not see any bars but yourself. What about now?
Now.
Can you see theirs anymore?
I can't move. Well, hold on, let me refresh. Now I'm getting HP bars off in the black. So I don't know what's the truth.
Yeah, that's a little weird. Yeah, let me know if you can ever see someone's HP besides yourself. That shouldn't be a thing.
Okay.
I can see Ian's right now and no one else's, but I can't see mine.
I am now correct. I can see mine and nobody else's.
I can see Kane's.
Alright. And
Because I'm the new guy. Mine needs to be set up.
see, that's weird. Can you see anyone's now?
No.
Okay. So yeah, you should only see your own. Refreshing sometimes helps with that if you can't see your own. Because yeah, you should be able to see your own stuff. So anyway, that was his bonus action. He is then going to do some sort of chant as his own spear will now begin glowing. And that's it for his turn. Nil.
Okay. Denizens of the dark, betrayers of the gentle light, you will not see tomorrow. And I hold up my holy symbol, and I'm going to put out my my little bubble.
This one in response
Little
yells,
bubble.
"Take their heads, eat of their flesh."
So I do that. Cool. Then I'm gonna move up 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So there, so Brinkle's still in range. And I'm going to healing word. Okay.
Alright, so
Awesome.
you throw some healing energy back towards Kane. Kane, you feel a bit better.
Exactly. You will not
Or do
fall
you
this
not?
night, Kane. Feel the darkness. Feel the cool breeze.
He yells, "Spellcaster!" And they're all now kind of looking at you.
Break yourselves upon me.
Alright, anything else?
No.
Did you take an action?
I did, so that's an action, I believe.
Twilight Sanctuary.
Oh, you.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And I give myself a d6.
And I assume that's what this purple is.
So,
Yeah, so his aura
Okay.
is basically like
Very
a dark energy flows from him, kind of
Yeah.
lessening the light in that area.
Yeah, it's like a cool night breeze. You feel at ease.
A little dark,
Nice.
even though it is daytime. Alright, so this one is going to rush forward. And he is going to use aggressive to dash as a bonus action. As he comes towards you, his great axe comes down. 16 will miss, luckily, as you step back. His axe cutting into the dirt. Roaring angrily, he finishes his turn. Kane.
I will unsheath my greatsword. I will hold it in two hands upside down in front of me, close my eyes briefly, and cast Bless on myself, Robert, and no.
In response to this, the hobgoblin back here yells something in Orc and points at you.
Okay.
Alright, so you are concentrating on Bless, and you said you blessed all three of them?
Myself, Nil, and Robert. So,
Yourself, Nil,
yeah.
and Robert. Alright. So, just for
do you
future
still use-
reference, this is the Bless icon. And just make sure you put concentration icon on yourself, Kane. 'Cause you're
Oh man,
concentrating.
you've got a whole bunch of things going on now.
I do.
That is new. Hot damn. Okay.
Well, so I use this one as concentration.
Do you
The
still
guy.
use like the headache guy?
Yeah, the guy who has
Yeah,
the-
okay. I scrolled down and saw that there was a C that said concentration, so I just slapped that on there. Okay,
Yeah.
very good.
Also, you see the Combat Master menu appear in your chat, right? When
Yes.
it's your turn. So you can highlight yourself and add any of those marks to you by pressing plus if your token's highlighted. Just FYI.
Well, actually, I see. Oh, what in the man? A lot has changed. Okay, cool. Good to know.
Alright, so
That's actually much easier.
Yeah, it's a little easier. You can only do it during your turn, so it's kind of annoying, but yeah, on your turn it's a lot easier.
Sure. Okay, so I cast that, and then I will call out to Robert, and I'll say, I'll get the back, you get the front. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet I will move, and that is my turn.
Alright, Robert.
You gain some temp HP.
Oh, hell
at
yeah.
the end of your turn, do you have a macro for that?
Oh, no.
Wow, that's a powerful spell you got there.
That's crazy.
D67, that's famous dice.
Okay, you get 3.
Yeah. It's a D&D staple.
Okay.
Alright, so you gain 3.
That'll
Alright,
be an interesting shape.
so Robert. And, remember, you can make a macro that will make that much easier. Just like
Yeah.
Twilight Sanctuary, temp. But Robert, what are you doing?
Robert just turns and says, "Nell, I'm not gonna do a mistake leaving you alone with those orcs again." And Robert moves here, and boink, orc on the head.
Alright, you rush up with your weapon, slashing at him.
Do we do flanking, right? It's +2 for bind.
That's correct, yeah. So
Okay.
he sees you come in and quickly brings his axe up, parrying the slash. Think. Anything else?
Nothing, and temporary hit points, please.
There you go. Turn is ending. Oh,
Only
Ooh,
yes, you
good.
get 8.
so that is what? 8?
Yeah.
Alright, 8 temp. Grinkle.
I'm trying to understand what's going on here. I think, how far does my crossbow go?
So, and another FYI, the colors on the enemy are who they're currently targeting. So, like this guy.
I was wondering.
Yeah, this guy is currently pissed off at Nil. This
Okay.
guy is actually he's going to change targets to Nil as well because he saw you casting. And this guy back here is also pissed off at Nil. So your crossbow, I believe the range on a crossbow is 80.
Is it a light crossbow?
Oh yeah, what's the size of it?
It's a light crossbow, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like 80 and long range is like 300. If you click the attack, it'll tell you.
I think it's 8320.
But yeah, that sounds right. So 80 close range, 320 long range. Long range shot is a disadvantage shot. Also, for
Right.
ranged weapons, if there's stuff in between you and your target, they have cover, so their AC is higher. Even allies.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, sorry, just the black, like, lines, all of them, are these shadows? Are they places I can't go? With?
Those are, that's like the trees kind of blocking, so depending on where you're standing, it blocks your eyesight a little.
Okay, that's what I figured. I wasn't 100% sure. So, I can move,
Up
my
to
speed
30.
is 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so what I wanted to do was kind of move around, like, down a little and around, so that I had direct range to this guy who's pissed off at Nil here. Does that make sense?
And when you want to point on the map, you can just hold the button.
Yeah,
Like then everyone sees where it pings. Like when you say this guy or this guy, like
Ah!
yeah, you can press and
Cool.
hold. And
Cool.
another
Yeah,
thing, just a quick tutorial for ranged fighting. The way you can determine cover is if one corner of your square can hit all four corners of someone else's square without going through something, then you have a clear shot. Like, for example, right now, this is going through, this and this are going through Nil. So he would have light cover on you. Like if you tried this square, it's kind of the same thing.
I think you might be on the DM layer. We cannot see your
Oh, am I hiding it? Done. Okay, here we go. So like this.
Right.
Like this guy, you actually have a clear shot at. This guy back here, because there's nothing in the way. But yeah, that's like an example. So you're looking to make it so one corner of your square can draw a line to all four of someone else's, your target, without going through something.
Yeah, okay. I think I'm still gonna move. I like that we're all concentrating on this one guy right away. So, ideally I'd like to move just so that this guy is directly in my range.
Alright, so you probably have to get to like around here, maybe?
Yeah.
Or, like, I think you have to get to like just south of him to totally get rid of cover. Like here.
Okay.
one advice. There is an orc here, right? And you just saw that they're able to do movement and dash in one turn, and then attack. And so they can move 60 feet and attack. So I would not come closer for like here is like this is a bad place to stand. You would likely need to be somewhere here.
Yeah, like
so this guy is not able to reach you.
Okay, that's fine. Can I move like right here?
Yeah, so to move, you pick up your token, press Q, and then move it to where you want to go and press Q again, and it'll show you like how far you moved, basically. So that'd be 25 feet to there.
Which is enough. You should probably you don't have to move closer because at least this guy will not reach you this turn.
Yeah. Okay. And then I can move and attack in the same turn. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can do a move, an action, and a bonus action in the same turn.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'd love to shoot him.
One thing from your spells, like there are a couple of spells that are like high impact, and sometimes they may be useful, like Tasha, like Hideous Laughter, for example, which disables an opponent. So I think for now we are fine. But you may think, like, if it goes hairy, we may want to think to cast something else. But for now, we also need to preserve resources as well.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right. So you're gonna shoot at this guy. You said.
Yeah.
All right. So you rush forward, pulling out your crossbow and taking a shot. So
Right.
go ahead and click on the crossbow macro. Oh,
Oh,
crit.
she'll just
That's
she'll just kill you.
good opening. All right, so if you click on the light crossbow button in chat, it'll roll damage for you. All right, not the best crit, but 5 is 5.
Damage is damage.
Looks very unhappy about this and would yell something in Orcish and point at you, at which point this guy kind of switches his trajectory a bit. Anything
that's
else?
rough. Rolled a 1 and a 2.
That guy's gonna go after me, but he's not really within range, eh? So I think that's okay now.
All right, so your turn is ending.
Also, there is such thing as attack of opportunity.
Yeah, sorry.
Then, if someone leaves the range of another hostile creature, that creature would get attack of opportunity. For example, this
As a
guy,
reaction.
like he could theoretically on his turn step up and try to attack you because he has range, but then he will get like 3 attacks of opportunity for that. So, and he's
Right.
probably not gonna want to do that. So that's.
So this guy is going to move 30 feet. And then he's going to aggression dash 30 as a bonus. Pulling out a javelin, he's going to throw it at you. 13 will just miss. So you jump to the side as a javelin goes flying past you, and that is it for him. The hobgoblin way in the back is going to fire an arrow at Rob. Although you have heavy cover, so you have +4 to your AC from all the trees. 21. Oh, we'll just miss. Luckily, one of the trees caught that arrow. So that's it for the hobgoblin as he's pulling out a new arrow. Top of the round, the strange shaman goes. What's he gonna do? So he is going to point at Robert and say, "Your weapon on the ground," and I need a wisdom save.
What a chump.
What a chump. Oh, good roll. So you just completely want to put your weapon down for some reason as you feel the magic's affecting you, but luckily you are able to fight them off and remain holding your weapon.
I just flip him off.
At the same time, a magical spear is going to come from behind and once again swing at you. But luckily 15 would miss. That will end his turn. Nil. Good first round.
Yep, cool. I will hit with my battle axe at this.
Alright, so you slash at that orc who is about to attack you.
Exactly. You will die in the dark with no one here.
18 is going to be enough versus AC 13, so that will strike. Landing a nasty hit for 6 more points of damage, which puts him to wounded. Oh wait, no, he's badly wounded. He's at 1/4 or below. And he will yell something angrily at you. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Alright, so the orc is going to swing back with his great axe. Oh, but he rolls a 1 as you easily kind of kick him back, knocking his swing off kilter. Kane.
He learned it from me.
Yeah.
I will move down 5 feet to grab the flank with Nil, and I will swing once with my greatsword.
Alright, using the distraction, 27 will connect, cutting into his armor. He's going to go down. He goes to the ground, bleeding out.
Is this 1d4 coming automatically from the status effect?
Are you talking about on my attack roll?
Yeah, this does it come because you have bless as status, or did you have it in your macro?
Oh, good question. That is not from Roll20. It's from D&D Beyond. There is a way using the Beyond 20 extension that you can add things to your D20 rolls.
Okay,
So that's
gotcha.
where I've put
That's
it.
the bless.
But that is what that is. Yep.
Alright, so... Wait, why does it not say you're concentrating?
I don't know. I can put it back on there, though. There we go.
Alright, so... Yeah, he is down. Anything else?
So it's and this is something that I observed in the combat that I was spectating. It seems like most things now do not die outright, but begin making saves. Is that right?
Yeah, well, humanoids in particular, yeah, they have death saves.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's assumed at the
very
end
well.
that you kill them, unless you actually try to save them.
But that pretty much means he's out of the game unless like someone heals him.
Or he rolls
Right,
that
right,
20 on his death
Yeah,
save.
something like that. Mm-hmm.
Yep, very good. Okay, then in that case, I am going to let's see here. What would be the best? Who's next? Yep, I am going to come down. Oh, so is this? Are these trees? Are these like canopies, or are these on the ground?
Oh, those are
This
canopies.
all the greenery. Okay, very good.
The black
Then-
on the screen is where the bottoms of the tree
Where the actual trees are. Right. Okay. So I'm going to move 5, 10, 15, 20. And I think that will be it for me. I see my roll was a 1, so I'm still at 3. That's all.
Alright, Robert.
I will say Kane. I'm not gonna let you have all the fun, and I'm gonna move here and flank the orc and hit him with my wonderful masterwork dwarven axe.
Alright, so you bring down your axe, slashing at him. Ooh, 12 will just miss. Well, you have bless.
Do you have... There you go.
13 is his AC, so that will strike. Doing 10 and
14.
Ouch. Alright, well, he is badly wounded from that one hit. He staggers back, bleeding.
Gnarly.
And I think you have max temp, so I won't roll.
Yep.
Good damage roll. Alright, so that is it for Robert.
By the way, I think you forgot to roll for Kane, or did you?
He rolled. That's the 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's pretty injured, eh?
This orc here is very wounded, yes.
What are the? Sorry, I'm do this. What are those like free actions again? Is there like a free the bonus one?
Certain actions are bonus actions, like you have a thing called Bardic Inspiration, where you can inspire your allies, although you only have a certain number of those per day. But yeah, that would be like a bonus of a bonus, or a example of a bonus action.
Right. But obviously, if it says like when I click the info, it says casting time 1 action. It's an action.
Yeah, it should say under your stuff like what type of action it is.
Cool. Okay. Well then I might as well just take care of this guy. Hopefully.
All right, you gonna shoot him?
Already. Well, am I too close? Like it's gonna be disadvantaged? Am I too close to him?
No, he would have to be adjacent to you. You could also use a vicious mockery. You might kill him with psychic damage.
It's so funny because that's what I was looking at. I was like, oh, do something different.
Yeah. So you can make fireball and his brain will explode.
Yeah. I'd love to try that. Actually, that'd be cool.
All right, so go ahead and click on it. Vicious mockery, and what are you saying to him?
I don't speak Orcish, eh?
This sort of thing, you don't actually have to speak their language. They'll understand like what you're saying. It's psychic damage, assuming he fails a save. So what would your vicious mockery to him be?
Not creative like Ryan is with this stuff.
Always go with the tried and true. Your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberries.
Or, you're a poo-poo face, whatever you want to say. Hey, poo-poo face. Ah! Just falls over bleeding from his eyes. Oh my god.
That's perfect. I love the poo-poo face. Let's get at it.
Alright, so wisdom save. Ooh, rolls a 7 and fails. So yeah, he goes down. Psychic damage.
face!
Poo-poo.
I washed my face. Alright, so he is down and dying. This guy yells something angrily. Anything else for you, Crinkle?
I might No, I can't. Okay. I was thinking of moving a little bit, but actually, I think I'll stay here because I don't know what this other guy's gonna do.
Okay.
So I'll just stay here.
Yeah,
The
4 temp
orc
HP.
is down. Oh, the orc rolls a natural 20. No, not poo-poo face. He's gonna stand back up at 1 hit point. And he is going to grab his axe, kind of catching you off guard. And, yeah, he wasn't happy about that poo-poo face remarks. He's going to step here, giving you an opportunity attack.
I will take it.
Alright. Oh! So, luckily, moving quickly, you will just cut right into him as he attempts to go for Grinkle, and he's just beheaded. So that is it for him. The Hobgoblin will say something in Goblin, moving forward a bit. And he is going to take a shot at... Okay, I gotta figure out why it keeps taking concentration off you.
I see it on.
On your token? I don't see it. Oh wait, I do see it. I was looking at the right token.
I did just add reaction used, so it shifted, but it's on there.
Alright, so he's gonna shoot at you with his longbow. That would be a 18, which I believe will strike.
That will strike.
So you take an arrow to the back of your shoulder for 8 points of damage, reduced by 3 for your tip. Oh.
3 from here and 5
So
from
5
here.
points, which will wind you slightly. So that is it for the Hobgoblin. The Eye of Groomsh really would like to have his spells work. Well, first thing... oh, and I do need a concentration, which you did. Okay.
Yep.
And he's going to send his spiritual weapon 15 feet south and have it stab at you. So, spear. Yeah, 21 is going to hit you. So the spiritual weapon strikes you for another 5 force damage, knocking you to wounded. As you see Kane starting to feel the effect of the oncoming attacks and tire a little. The
Bless will drop as well.
Oh, and yeah, he loses concentration, so you guys are no longer blessed. So make sure you pull those marks off you when you have a moment. He will then...
And you use half heart for...
yeah,
wounded.
you got it. You got it.
Okay.
What's the range on this spell? Alright, he's going to yell at Robert. He yells, "Flee, coward!" And I need a wisdom save from you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Man,
good rolls.
you were having
Alright.
none of it today.
So you, as the spell hits you, yeah, you have this overwhelming urge to just panic and run away, but you remain cool and resist. He is then going to move back towards his friend and end his turn. Nil.
Okay. So the guy in front of me is dead, right?
Yeah. Well, this guy is dead. The guy in front of you is bleeding out. This guy, like, but he's no longer a threat unless he rolls really well on his death saves.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I think I'm going to try and cast sleep if I'm in range.
Alright, go ahead and link your sleep spell if you're casting it.
Is that set up as a macro? Yeah.
Okay, so you spend a first level spell. Where are you putting it? On this guy? Nil, where are you putting the spell?
It's weird, because I was going to try and... I don't know if I have enough. Yeah, I'll try to put him to sleep. Yes, on him.
Alright, so he is unaffected. However, within 20 feet of him, his buddy back here falls asleep.
Okay.
So yeah, he obviously has more than 20 hit points.
Yes.
Anything
Okay.
else?
No, that's it, as I'm chasing him down.
Alright, so the orc makes a death save. Alright, he's still alive. Kane.
I will move. Let's see here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Oh, no. 30. Well, it's probably 6 of 1. Yeah, we'll
At
do
least
that.
you're out of range of spiritual weapon, because I think it moves 20.
Oh, that too. I was trying to get some cover on these guys. But yeah, that as well. We'll get to here and I'll dodge.
Alright, Robert.
You get a d6. You get 8.
Oh yeah. Solid.
Robert is gonna do following. Since he just cast Flee on me and tried to scare me, Robert would act all scared and like, oh my god, I'm so scared, and then just flips him off again. And he's gonna
You sass him
do
viciously.
following. Robert will move 30 feet. Then Robert will dash another 30 feet. And then Robert would action surge and dash another 30 feet.
Okay.
That's it.
Alright, that's it for you, Grinkle.
Yeah, so does Kane need some healing? Like, you still look... I just can't really see those icons.
So Kane
Yeah.
has the half heart, which means he's at half health right now.
Okay.
So
Or less.
half health or below, but higher than 1/4
Somewhere.
health.
Yeah, somewhere between 25 and 50%.
Okay. Can I move? Because they're by 5, eh?
Yeah, each square is 5 feet.
I move there, and then... where is it? The healing word. Use that. Okay.
Right. So you spend a first level spell channeling some more healing energy. Kane would gain 4. So you feel a little bit better.
I will give you a nod of appreciation, and I will snortle like a dog playing with another dog. Just breathe out.
Alright, you snortle. Alright, anything else?
It's not gonna. I don't.
You still have an
far
action.
enough.
This was bonus action, right?
Yeah, healing word is a bonus action, so you still have your main action.
Oh. Okay.
So you could dodge, you could dash up ahead.
Yeah, let me dash a little bit. How far can I dash?
30
You can
more.
go
So when
your
you-
speed, so 30
Oh,
feet.
shit. Oh. Damn, okay.
But wait, just
Okay,
wait
yeah.
a second. Let's see.
Hmm.
Maybe you would still. Okay, not. I just thought maybe vicious mockery. Okay, yeah,
That'd
no,
be
I
out of
think he's a
range.
little bit too far.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, so I was thinking of just dashing just a little bit further because you said
Sure.
the range of this magical
Just
dagger
just
things.
don't dash out of the aura.
No. I was just gonna go like right here.
Alright,
Yeah.
so you run forward a bit, ending your turn, and get 7 temp HP. The Hobgoblin is asleep, so he can't do anything. New round, the Eye of Grush. So the spiritual weapon. And by the way, the temp HP goes in your red circle. So you would just put 7 in there. At the end of each of your turns, Nil is giving out temp HP to help shield you. Temp HP you take before you take regular HP. So you, if you take damage, it would go to your temp, and then once that's gone, it goes to your normal. So the spiritual weapon is going to fly 20 feet to here and end. The shaman is going to move, giving you an oppie. And your bless is gone. But yeah, so you get an oppie on him if you want to take it.
How do I take away my blast? How do I remove my blast? Because I don't know.
So
Okay,
you
thank
can, on your turn, it'll give you the option in chat to remove any of your stuff, or you just have to go through the list of icons and unclick it. Alright, so you would strike. 24 lands a hit, slashing him for 16 as he retreats. And he's going to kick his buddy, waking him up. So that is it for him. Next up, Nil.
Cool. I'm gonna move down here 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Then I'm gonna dash 5. Or is there a tree in the way?
Yes, so there's a tree there.
There's there. Okay. And I will run here and just try and get close enough to him.
Alright, so that's it for you. The orc is still unconscious. Kane. Or still dying, I should say.
I think I am also going to be using my action to dash. So in total, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55.
Remember,
Probably
every
haven't you
second-
moved twice
60.
diagonal? Yeah.
Yeah, every second diagonal is an extra 5 feet, just FYI. So
Okay.
I think you only went down to here.
Yeah. And moving through other creatures, even if they are your allies, that is also difficult terrain, right?
Yeah. Other creatures or
then
like rocks on the
for sure.
ground. Basically, like anything on the map that isn't ground is usually difficult terrain.
Right,
Like
right.
tree
Okay.
squares, etc.
It is actually much easier to just one queue and then second queue, and it actually calculates it for you, like second diagonal, for example.
I'm familiar with the queue method.
Yeah.
I was did not know that you do the
Sure.
Double back.
10-foot every other diagonal. Yep, but I'm up to speed now.
Triangles exist in my world.
Good. It makes more sense.
You can't just run diagonally to like teleport.
Yeah. And I think that'll be all.
All right. So, Robert.
Well. Robert is going to move here to get flank
Mm-hmm.
and attack Eye of Grush.
All right.
Or-
You swing at him with the flank.
With my wonderful longsword. Oh yes.
A crit. So that would be not the best roll.
Not the
but,
best, but
I mean,
like
13 isn't terrible. And that would put him to wounded.
I attacked him for 14 with attack of opportunity without crit last
Yeah.
time. It's a terrible crit.
Terrible crit, yeah. All right, so Robert's turn is ending. Unless you got something else.
I'm good.
Crinkle.
Okay. This is stupid. Okay. Oh God, what have I done? Okay. Well, move me back. There we go. Sorry.
Okay.
I guess the tree's kind of in the way for pretty much anything range that I want to do, eh? So
It would give them cover, so they'd have a +2 bonus to their AC. Unless you use something like Vicious Mockery, because that's a spell, that's not a ranged attack. That would just be them making a saving throw.
okay, then maybe I'll do that. I didn't realize that. I thought I had to have direct range for that too.
No, you just have to see your target for that one.
Got it. And then let's see, which one do I want to attack here?
Sure.
I just can't really see with the action.
It's also worth noting that you do not have to like move all at once. So over your turn, you can like move 5 feet to get a better angle, then do whatever you want to do, and then move the rest of your speed if you just need to see things better.
Yeah, okay. And it's the hobgoblin that's controlling the little magic sword, right?
It is this guy.
It's the guy next to him.
That guy.
Yep.
I think I'll do Vicious Mockery on that guy. The sword's freaking me out. So
Alright, spear kind of following. So he has to make a wisdom save. As you invade his mind. Oh, but he rolls a 20, so he resists, taking no damage. And yells
Rude.
something angrily, looking around for the source of the attack. Anything else?
yeah, I am still gonna move a little bit though, just to kind of have an option to attack at least next round. So I'm gonna do. Okay, I'm gonna move here.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, that way I can kind of do whatever I want next round.
Alright, so that's it for you. The hobgoblin is going to stand up. Switching his targets to Robert. And he's going to move 5, 15, and have to stop there because of the tree and difficult terrain. And he's going to swing at Robert with his longsword, two-handed. Luckily, he rolls poorly, and you would easily dodge the attack. Alright, the Eye of Groomsh is going to turn around. What does this do again? Alright. There's a lot of stuff. Okay, he's just going to turn around. He's going to take his glowing spear. Wants to go into
Is it
flank.
still glowing from the time he first kind of lit it up on the first round?
Yeah, you think it's some kind of what's that thing like? What's that druid one?
Divine favor.
Shillelagh.
Shillelagh.
Yeah, it looks like some kind of
fuck.
shillelagh effect. So
Okay.
he is going to take a stab at you with his spear. Ooh, 22. That is definitely going to hit, unless you got something.
Nope.
Alright, so he comes in with a big stab, and gets extra damage because he doesn't like you. Well, for one of his abilities.
I
he
was,
does
I
extra
was like, is that the reason? Is that how it's done?
No, you see like his eye, like, oh geez, his eye glows. He hits you for 18. His spear crackles.
But that's not like. Is there physical damage there?
Yeah, so 10 piercing, 8 extra
Okay,
from
so
his
15 in total, right?
18. 10, well, minus your temp, whatever your temp is.
Yes, and minus heavy armor mastery.
Yes. So yeah, minus some more for the heavy armor mastery. So 15. Luckily, your armor takes some of that, but that was a solid hit. Yeah, it seemed like he had some kind of ability, like from maybe his god, that made him hit harder. But that is it for him. Nil.
Speaking of gods, he disturbed the gentle night, so he must die. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm gonna hit him with my battle axe for
Alright, so you
being a
come
heretic.
running up from behind as he stabs Robert. No flank. Turns around to meet you. AC 16 for this for you to hit. Oh, nope. He this time pushes you back with his spear. Just kind of, as you go in for the attack, he just knocks you off balance. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Oh, sorry, and he did move his spiritual weapon 20 feet. So it's slowly coming over here. Alright, the dying orc, death save. Alright, so he is no longer dying. He just falls unconscious. That's it for him. Kane.
And we would. So does that illustrate to us that he is
Like
dead, or that he
he's
is
stabilized.
that he's stable? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. Well, I'm going to take advantage of this beautiful positioning that I have and try to hit this fella. What in the heck? Oh.
Alright, so 24. I assume your first roll will strike.
Excellent.
26 with flank. Ooh, catching him off guard. So, wow, good roll. 14. Ouch. He is badly wounded.
You know, I've recently done a lot of looking into the math of great weapon fighting, because I had dismissed it for a long time, because it does not increase your average much, but it does make you significantly less likely to whiff. So turns out actually not bad.
Great weapon fighting, doesn't that give you more damage and makes you more likely to whiff?
No, that's great weapon mastery.
Oh,
or great
okay.
weapon master. Yeah, great weapon fighting is the reroll 1/2.
I see. All right.
Yeah.
So that is it for Kane, I assume.
Yeah, this is the position we want, so I will keep it.
All right, Robert.
Robert is. Do you want to roll temporary hit points for him?
It's at the end.
He did. He did the 5.
You did?
I did for Kane, but it has to be at the end of your turn, unfortunately.
No, yeah, at the end of my turn. I will Robert is pissed. He just got hit so hard. He just wants to finish this guy. But first, I will use bonus action for second wind.
All right.
Healing for mighty 3.
Not the best roll.
And then I'll attack him.
All right. So 19. Yeah, that's gonna strike. That's double ones. Ouch. So 7 damage. He looks very wounded still, but he is still up and will yell in common, "You cannot kill the chosen of Groosh," as he gets ready to attack back. Anything else?
No, I'm done. And can I have those temporary hit points, please? Very good, thank you.
All right, Grinkle.
Okay, I was muted. Sorry.
No worries.
I'm gonna move over here. I'm gonna take a light crossbow shot. If you guys don't mind.
What?
Nice.
At this guy.
You fire up at him.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring up my crossbow. And
Okay.
I'm gonna fire a shot.
Right, AC 16. Oh, just enough.
Oh,
That
nice.
will strike him.
Kill him. Kill him. Kill him.
So, yeah, click on the light crossbow button in chat for damage.
Oh, sorry. There we go.
Oh.
Great.
So that would have killed him, but something within him burns and he drops to 1 HP instead. I won't die. So he's still alive for now. Anything else?
I also then. Oh no, hold on. I can't attack and do like vicious mockery in the same.
No, because those are
No.
both actions.
Right. All right, then no, I'm good.
Alright. So the hobgoblin will now step here to gain flank. He is going to attack you with his longsword. And completely another terrible roll. Luckily, you see it coming and dodge. New round, the Eye of Group shells. You cannot kill the Chosen, as he goes to stab at you again with flank. Ooh, 19 with flank will strike. Doing another D8 extra damage. 9 points of piercing, which was reduced by 3, so 6.
He just take my temporary hit points.
nice.
No! Nil, what are you gonna do?
Finish him.
Yes. Grimsh has abandoned you, and the die become one with it, and I'm gonna hit him. God is false.
Oh, yep, 17 or 19, or no, 17 will strike. That is enough. He goes down. The other one says, wait, I surrender. And he kind of puts his hands up. Kane, what do you want to do?
Let me see what I have in my inventory for this purpose. It's not ideal, but it'll work. As I hear the hobgoblin exclaim this, I will. Well, those are both. Yeah, I will. I think as a free action, I will just release my longsword tip down, such that it just like twing, does a little Braveheart, and sticks in the dirt. Then I will move. I'll use the Q method to appease. I can't. I was gonna say, why can't I remember? Robert. There we go.
I think it's not Robert.
Then I will move the triangle guy. I will move 25 feet, and with my item interaction, I'll pull out 50 feet of hempen rope off the side of my backpack, and I will look at the hobgoblin, and I will just say, "Hands out."
Is anyone else attacking, or can I end combat here?
Yeah, I think we're done.
Yeah, I think we're good.
So, yeah, the hobgoblin will sheath his sword and put his hands out as you move in to tie him up. The downed ones, are you going to slay them, leave them? What are you doing?
Robert will go and finish them. We have our prisoner, and those guys are just liability. If they wake up and then ambush us or something,
All
I'll
right.
just finish them.
All right. So you take them out. Looks like the orcs don't have too much. They have their normal battle axe and leather. The shaman does have some stuff. He has a pouch of spell components, which contain 50 maho of nature components. Does anyone want to take that?
Who was usually taking all of this?
I think I have a bunch of nature stuff. I'm just gonna double
Yeah,
check.
I think maybe you can just continue stockpiling those.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are used to cast nature spells as well as to craft healing potions and make certain magical items.
It may
No,
come
I
in
have,
handy later. I have like a herbalist kit. I think with herbalist kit, could I craft something?
I have like
Musical?
a bunch of.
So you need a herbalist kit to make healing potions, but you would use rare herbs and nature components to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you might want those nature components then.
I mean, I have a load of rare herbs, so if you need me to carry it, I can.
Yeah, rare herbs is another thing you can make healing potions out of, as well as
Let's just
things.
give it to Grinkle, and if need be, I'll craft them next time. We have a free time.
All right.
For now, let him just be our mule.
All right. So yeah, you can go ahead and add those. The shaman also has a little bit better armor than the other one. He has a ring mail and a shield, as well as a spear. The hobgoblin will say, "You seem more skilled than most of the soldiers out of Char. What are you doing here?"
I think we could ask you the same
Isn't it?
question. And in fact, I think we will.
He says, "I will not say anything, but perhaps you can trade me to the captain to get some of our prisoners back."
Well, if you'll not say anything, why bother keeping you around?
Give me an intimidate check. He says, "Wait, you can't just kill me. I've surrendered. Don't your kind value honorable warfare?"
Do yours?
I think I'm going to use a point of inspiration on this check.
All right. So you make an inspired intimidation. He says, "Well, I suppose I could give you some information if that will help secure the prisoner exchange."
Certainly sounds reasonable to me. And to your point, yes, we do accept honourable surrenders. Though, I am not sure the same can be said of you, so don't push your luck.
He says,
Tell us.
"We have taken prisoners. We do not just kill anyone who we encounter."
While this is happening, Robert is taking the ring mail of the caster.
All right,
Is
sure.
there like I'm searching his pockets for any like letters or instructions or anything?
So you don't find anything on the caster, but this guy actually has a backpack. He has a longbow. He has 18 arrows, and he has a note written in Hobgoblin. Yeah. Does anyone speak? Goblin. Does anyone speak Goblin?
I do not.
Alright,
No.
so yeah,
Is it similar to giant? Is it related or is it different?
No, it's different.
Can we
okay.
make him read it and then I want to insight check him?
So, all right. Well, hang on, because I think Kane was talking to him. So, what did you? I'll say you just kind of pulled the note out of his backpack while he was talking to Kane. So, what were you saying to him, Kane?
I'll kind of just like sit him down on the ground, probably or over here somewhere where the rest of us are at. Yeah, like in the middle of this little space. I'll plop him down next to me, and I will just sort of rest my hand on my greatsword, which is stuck in the ground here, and I'll say, "Okay, so there are many things that we'd like to know about you and your organization. We think we have some idea about at least where you come from, but what we'd really like to know is why you're here, how many of them, or how many of there you are, and where you can be found. Obviously, if we're going to be doing any sort of prisoner exchange, we'll need to know that anyway."
Says we are here because we were hired to be here by one of your people, one of the what's the name of this empire? One of the Teruvians. We were told to come and help them with a matter. He says, I don't know the specifics. I just follow orders and go where I'm told.
You don't know who has hired your company? You just know that you have been hired.
He says, it was one of your people. Like I said, I don't know. They didn't tell us who. I know that my captain, Captain Graves, had met with some of his people on several occasions.
All right, that's good to know. When he says that he doesn't know who hired them, do I think that is? I think that he's being
you can
honest.
make an active insight if you want. You're not
That's
sure.
my
Yeah,
bad all day.
you don't really get a good reading.
Okay, fair enough.
It's hard to tell if he's being honest or not.
All right. I like what you've said so far. Next order of business is numbers. How many hobgoblins, orcs, and otherwise are in your company here in the Empire?
He says
Well, specifically in this operation.
He says we have hundreds of soldiers. It is foolish for you to stand against us. We just want what we were promised. That is why we are attacking. Because we were not given what was promised.
What were you promised?
Says, I don't know the specifics again. I'm just a soldier, but I know that your people cheated us. And it is dangerous to cheat a warlord of the Bazik.
All right.
He says, look, maybe if you just let me go, you don't have to. I don't have to tell anyone about your location. I'll just leave this place.
Perhaps. I cannot make any promises yet, as we're sort of an ensemble and we'll need to chat about it amongst ourselves.
Give me active insights from all of you on what you just said.
Aha!
All right.
Moving up in the world with my fucking -1.
Yeah, all three of you don't think he's being completely honest about his numbers.
Right.
You seem Robert and Kane.
Okay. You seem a little confident with your expression of might. If I didn't know better, I'd say that you were trying to instill in us a sense of fear about exactly how many of there you are. We have a good idea already. I was just looking to assess your honesty. I know there are not hundreds.
Give me a persuasion or intimidation with advantage. advantage. This is all right. Well, we don't have hundreds here, but our main camp, we have at least 100 strong soldiers. Says our forces are a little bit less in this area.
All right. So you've got 100 concentrated. How many would you estimate you have out and about?
He says, look, like I said, if I tell you this, can you just let me go? He says, I do not want the dishonor of being traded as a prisoner. If I could just say I escaped a battle, it would be better for me.
Perhaps. I'm sure a way that we can make this work to our benefit. It sounds like your people have a just grievance with the Teruvian Empire, though I cannot believe that you have a grievance with the residents of Char specifically. Many innocent people have been suffering under the yoke of these raids, so long term, something will need to be done to resolve that. Either we can do a prisoner exchange, though it may bring you dishonor, because it will allow us to potentially speak with this Captain Graves, who knows probably more than you do. Otherwise, maybe we can let you go, under the promise that you will send where there are coming. But that sort of defeats, I think, the purpose that you were looking for, in that clearly you will have been caught and released. Is that something that might work for your purposes?
I could tell him that I retreated and I was able to escape. There's more honor in that than being captured. And I can tell you, or I could tell him that you are coming in his direction, I suppose.
Robert would come towards Kane and just kind of whisper into his ear, like he said someone betrayed them and someone stole something from them. Like he doesn't know what, but who.
I don't think he knows that either. I think that was
You don't think so?
Well, I can ask.
Yeah, let's try.
You mentioned that you don't know who hired you in the first place, though you didn't explicitly say that it was the person who hired you that betrayed you. Do you know who has wronged your people? Is it your benefactor or someone else?
I don't know who the Tide was negotiating with, but I know we had a contract with one of the Teruvians. It's the only reason we're here. Do you think we'd come to some border town with nothing of value for no reason? Of course not.
What does Teruvian mean, Lewin? Just question out of
your empire is called Teruvia. So
okay, then basically, in his words, Teruvian is like anyone here.
Yeah,
basically.
Anyone within the Teruvian Empire.
Okay, understood. Gotcha. Okay, worth a shot.
How about this? What if we allow you to go, you keep your honor, we've done you a service by it, and you inform Captain Graves that you were privy to a conversation that we had with one of your friends here before, unfortunately, he succumbed to his wounds. You tell him everything that you and I have spoke about, and do your best to convince him that we are honourable men and that we have only good intentions in trying to resolve this conflict peaceably. I think this will accomplish your goal of maintaining your honour, and it will accomplish our goal of perhaps making inroads into a more fruitful conversation. Does that sound agreeable to you?
Give me a persuasion again.
And Rob mumbles to himself, like, yeah, peaceful is better. Just killing 100 of them may be so tedious.
All right, I guess you could throw intimidation on there as well.
Yeah, let's try.
think I will use my other remaining inspiration to
Okay.
advantage this check as well. You said persuasion on this one?
Yeah, I think that was probably more persuasion than intimidation. For you.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, good roll.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. No, another good roll. He says, I can tell him about the conversation. What do you wish to gain from this? Are you looking for a diplomatic end? Are you looking to make peace?
Perhaps. It's hard to say. We'll obviously need to know more about this arrangement that your people have made with the Empire and precisely how it went wrong. But if it's as you said, and that you were promised something that you did not receive, perhaps in the grand scheme of things, you have been wronged and we can work together to right things. I think what would benefit us most at this time is a willingness by your captain to have a conversation that will allow us to understand more about what has happened between your people and ours.
He says, does your company have a name? Who are you? Or who do you work for?
I will look to Nil.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna walk over with the letter. We are the Starry Knights. And before we release you, vermin, read this. What does it say?
He says, this is a note with coordinates telling us of our areas to keep watch over. He says it just states some locations nearby that we were to watch for activity. And you can do an insight, all of you, on that.
I'm gonna guidance myself.
DC
so you know
15.
it's
Yeah, that's
So,
how it goes.
seems about right.
Oh,
So actually, yeah, Grinkle, you don't fully believe what he just said. Or he might not be telling you everything.
It's on this little note or whatever.
Yeah, like there might be more to it than just coordinates.
He says coordinates just to see if there's any activity. What's their instruction on if they do see something?
He says, as I said, it's just patrol routes. Our instructions, as with any patrol, are to report such activity or to engage if we think it's a viable target.
What constitutes a viable target?
He says, well, with enemies we think we could best and maybe capture as prisoners. So obviously you were underestimated. He says, but yes, that's all it is. Like I said, just a couple of coordinates to keep an eye on as we were moving through the wilds.
Okay. I'm gonna throw the letter to the floor then, and I'm gonna crouch down to his eye line and take my helmet off. And just stare at him and say, your kind have perverted the darkness, making people afraid and taking it out during a time that should be full of joy. You do not want to see me again. Do everything in your power to convince them to leave.
He says, curious why Furbog is working with humans who are much closer to us than to them. Why do you care about them so much? 2 Furbogs. Not sure what you are, he says to Kane. But their kind does not usually tolerate your kind. That's why many of the Nazic warlords exist, because they were cast out of Teruvia. So why help them? Money?
A part of it. I require their service. I require their help to get home. But you would know nothing of that.
He says, we all originated from the Feywild, brother. It seems some of us have been corrupted by the taints of this realm, though.
Would
Yes,
Robert
you.
Would Robert? Sorry. Would Robert also know that this, like, he's not fully honest about the note and it only having coordinates?
Yeah, I guess with a 20, you might be a little suspicious about that.
Okay.
He says, but I will deliver your message. It's a deal is a deal. I do not go back on my word. I will let my captain know what you said. Is there a place you would like to meet a messenger should he choose to reply?
Well,
Don't find us, we'll find you.
Very well.
You cannot hide in the dark. And as the plan we're doing this, just quickly out of thing, it's like letting him go back and just lead it is like, and seeing where we walk off is not a great idea, right? So how about we knock him out, then leave, and let him wake up?
He says, what? No, I don't know where you've come from. What does it matter where you walk away to? You could be going anywhere.
Yeah, but you'd see where.
He says, I'd see a direction. That doesn't mean I know
Yes.
where you're going. You could walk north, and that could be anywhere. I assume you're from Char, yes? It's not
I would just
many
say,
other- Go ahead.
I'll just say hard to say, but I like a smirk at him because that's the only fucking civilization for days.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Okay. Well, okay, fine. I'm going to use my last spell slot. Well, and I'll put my hand on him and cast sleep as we walk away.
Yeah, so he just passes out.
I think actually
It
multiple
only lasts
people
for a
pass
minute.
out.
We gotta get out of here. Go, 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 go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Run.
Like, he just rang the doorbell. Like, all right, we gotta get out. We got a minute. All right, so you're just rushing off, just into the woods somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I thought Kane was or Robert was going to question him more, but all right. So he's asleep, and you guys leave. Where are you going?
During questioning, I took the ring mail of the this Eye of Grumsh.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, I think we actually who would it fit better among between Neil, Kane, and me? Because I think all three of us could wear it, but I imagine the size may be a problem.
Yeah.
Well, as you
Uh,
showcase it, I'll look at it and I'll say, strange that you find it interesting. That's less protection than what you have already, I'm sure.
I think so. No, I would not say so.
well,
Let me
Ringmail is AC 14.
Ring-
Okay, sorry. Then
yeah.
I probably confused it with something
Yeah.
else.
You're thinking of split. Split mail's better.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I would not
Ring-
do that. I would not even
Ringmail
care.
is the poor man's chainmail.
Yeah.
I understood.
Put it on our punch. I'll show you the difference.
Yeah, then.
Live
then.
demonstration.
You can hang it off one of
Come
the.
on, come
one
on.
of the
Do
fur
your vicious mockery. Do your vicious mockery.
That's crinkle.
I know, but he's still doing it. Fine. By the way, Grinkle, I know you have many things up your sleeve. Can you read various languages? I know that there is a magic that can help you read unknown languages. Maybe it can help us understand the note. Do you have comprehend
Great
languages,
question.
maybe?
Am I looking at my proficiencies?
No, in your spells.
Oh.
Comprehend languages.
No, I do not.
Yeah.
Yeah, not at this level.
You
She's
should.
only 2.
Yeah, indeed.
I think comprehend is a second level spell.
I think that's right.
Comprehend is first.
Is it?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then.
Oh, I'm thinking of tongues, and that's not even a second. That's a third.
Yeah. So you are back out in the wilds. What do you want to do? You do have this map with some coordinates, but you can't read it, so it's not as useful.
Yeah. I wonder how we could like what guys who questioned him. I may have missed something. Do we know direction of their main camp or any direction where we should go?
Unfortunately, no. I was had it in mind to ask, but it seemed we were quite anxious to leave, so I didn't get quite that far.
Well, at least he got a good sleep.
I hope he wakes up feeling very, very bad and groggy.
Yeah, probably.
Like
I'm
a
sure he
terrible nap.
Guys, I'm so sorry for asking that. Do you mind a quick rest?
I was actually just about to ask how everybody felt. I think a rest is quite in order.
Just an hour, not more.
Alright, do you want to
That
retreat
seems
to your camp or
reasonable to me.
rest here?
How far is the camp? Would it be a big detour if we retreated to the camp? I think it would be safer.
It would be safer. It's about, I'll say it's about an hour away. It's following you at a
I
distance.
think we're good. I think we should just go to the camp then. It's not too far.
Alright. So you retreat to camp and are passing some time. Nothing happens and you would successfully rest. So it is now 5:40. Go ahead and do a short rest. Remember, you can do 2 of those per day right now. So, a short rest is a type of rest you can use to kind of heal yourself a little, and certain classes regain some of their abilities on a short rest. I don't think a bard gets anything at this level.
I don't think cleric does either.
I know later on you recharge your, what are they called? Your bardic inspirations on a short rest once you get higher level. But,
yeah, at this level, it's probably I'm the one who benefits most.
Oh, I get my...
You get your channel divinity back, I think.
Do I have
I
to
think-
spend hit dice? I didn't get hit.
No, you don't have to. You just have to spend your short rest if you want to gain channel divinity back.
Okay. It's just when I press the short rest button, it wants me to roll a hit dice.
Yeah, you can just close it, I think.
No, that's it. Yeah. Oh, never mind. I forget that you're on Roll20 now. D&D Beyond. Disregard.
So
Do we need to create short rests as a resource?
that's what I would do. And you regain them all on a long rest. So like you'd have 2. Well, now you'd have 1 of 2 for the day. Shock would come and ask you about what happened if you want to give him an update.
Yeah, I think probably so. Unless anybody disagrees, I think we would give him the full scoop.
Yeah.
So he says, I'll always remember if you need to move prisoners, we can keep them in the camp, as long as we have enough guards to keep an eye on them. I
Right.
don't know if you wanted to question him later or something, but just know that's an option.
I thought about it. It seemed this particular individual held their honor in high regard. I'm hopeful that by offering them this olive branch, perhaps they will return the favor, and maybe the next time we run into a retinue of these hobgoblins and orcs, good quality will be known among us before even we meet them. We'll find out.
It's not a bad idea. Even the worst company will respect those. Usually, will respect those who, don't just kill them off. At least maybe show you the same kindness. He says, though, someone in Teruvia hired them. That makes me uneasy. He says, I wonder who would hire them to have come to Char and why.
I have a guess. My suspicion, perhaps, is that they are a mutual acquaintance of us all. Though That is just paranoia. I have nothing to prove it.
Are you thinking our
Thinking a particular
beautiful?
noble in Char.
He says,
Yeah,
I think Blackwater
it
hired
would
them.
it would fit.
Well, what
It
would
would
he have to
fit
gain
quite
from
well.
that?
That's a good question.
They did say that someone betrayed them, so he probably, maybe he knows that they're here because they want revenge. And then, like, if Blackwater knew that they're here to take some kind of revenge on him betraying them, of course he would not want them to be around. Why he hired them and in what regard did he betray them? No idea. But that would fit very, very well within this scenario. That
As
he
well,
wants them out so bad, so badly.
it's the only thing to me that makes sense geographically. There is nothing in Char apart from farms. The only person in Char with any reasonable amount of money is Gale and Blackwater, and being
Yeah.
that is the case,
Who else would be able to hire a whole horde of, like a whole clan of hobgoblins? And I ask Chalk, is there anyone except Blackwater who would have that amount of money to hire a whole
Not that
clan of?
not that I know of in Char, unless it has something to do with that other faction he told us to stay away from. Or maybe a different noble elsewhere hired them to do something. I don't know. I mean, whoever hired them doesn't have to be from Char, but it would make sense that Blackwater be involved. He probably, I wouldn't be surprised if he had them doing something in the area, but yeah, can't really prove anything. Grinkle, did you have anything you wanted to say? Just checking.
No, I agree with what you guys are saying, though. I feel like it has something to do with this Blackwater guy, because he was super sketchy.
You know,
This
I'm
is
a man
all
of.
connected.
I'm a man of. I'm a simple man. I see, I tell. I don't pretend, and just my gut feeling right now is that I felt much more comfortable and much more trusting when we were talking to this hobgoblin than when I was talking to Blackwater.
Yeah,
As well,
I agree.
fellow soldier, there's a bit of more of an understanding, whereas the nobles might as well be from the Feywild. No offense.
None taken.
that's
There's a
true.
similar saying there.
This is, but I'd be curious to know more. I think it best if we not mention these theories around Char. We don't want to make Blackwater angry without any evidence.
I agree. And
Yep.
though I think it goes without saying, I wouldn't soon talk about it amongst the labourers or the guards either.
Nods. He says, I don't talk about any of our business with them, only very surface level conversations, but they're also all trustworthy. They all owe you, so I don't expect them to, betray us. Still, yes, I'll keep it from them for now. So we're getting close to the end here. Is there anything else the group wants to do before we end, or should we call it here at the end of the rest and continue next time?
Yeah,
I think it's actually a very good time, good moment after a short rest.
All right.
And
so
before deciding what to do.
give me a whisper with the MVP vote. It's basically this command. Just replace name for who you want to vote for. MVP is just like who was. You can give it for any reason. Most entertaining, best role play, best tactical. Just can't vote for yourself. So any other character other than you.
And I think I asked this last week, but I forgot. You just do the name, no description.
Yes, it would
Yeah.
just you don't
Okay.
you don't have to justify it as long as it's not you.
Right.
I mean, someone could have said a joke you really like, and you just decide to give them your MVP. And I'll give Nil. I'll give you an inspiration point for your RP with the Hobgoblin. Trying to think if anyone else did some really good
Sorry.
character stuff.
I did try a little bit with the first characteristics that I've had when we were talking to Blackwater, when I was absolutely not holding back and spilling everything.
Oh, which
Yeah,
aspect
you
of
mean
your
throwing away all of our
chips?
good
Exactly.
chips?
Is that
Exactly,
something from your
exactly
background?
correct. It's like direct, speaks his mind whenever possible,
yeah, definitely.
with little worry about consequences.
Yeah, for a sacrifice to RP, I'll give you a point for that. So yeah, you sacrificed something because that was in your character.
Yeah.
So yeah, you
If
can get
maybe I do like the slash W and then the name.
yeah, it's /WGM and then the name of who you're voting for, like the character name.
Yeah.
So there's Robert, Kane, and Nil are the three characters. Okay. So there's a tie between Nil and Kane. So you guys have to roll a d20.
All right.
All right, Kane, you are MVP. Congrats.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, good game.
Looking over my characteristics, maybe you could say that taking this hobgoblin at his word and buying into this whole, retreating is less dishonorable than being let go. My recognition of that could exemplify my bond, which is that honor is my life. But that's admittedly also that could apply to almost anything I do. So
you can link it.
Sorry.
Yeah, link it in chat. Let me take a look. I'm just taking some notes here. But we're done. Other than that, if you guys need to bounce or if you want to hang out, that's fine too. But yeah, you can take off if you need to.
I'll head out. Thanks for being so patient with me.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
problem.
it was fun.
Hopefully,
You enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
I thought you did
Yeah,
great.
You can tell Ryan that we thought you were better than him.
yeah, I'll definitely tell him. Yeah, it's a little bit easier. Like I've played a lot of like Gloomhaven and Frosthaven with him, so I'm like kind of starting to understand a little bit.
yeah,
but
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Like I said, good to have
Cool.
you, and hopefully we'll see you again.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, bye.
Bye.
Thanks, buddy.
See ya.
My honor is my life.
Yeah, it's just one of the character and traits.
I think that would be like
selected from my.
If you did something really challenging to maintain your honor, or like gave up something to maintain your honor, it would be more like that.
That makes sense. Yeah. I was like, I don't really think this is gonna pass, but inspiration's inspiration.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I actually like the idea that you are spending inspiration and not just hoarding it as everyone else.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, when there's things you want to happen, it's a good way to use them.
Yeah.
The only thing, one of the few, I don't have many gripes. Well, I wouldn't even call it a gripe, really. But there's not a lot about the rules as written that I don't love. The only thing about inspiration that chaps my ass sometimes is because it's proactive. You end up sometimes using it unnecessarily. Like one of the checks I made was a 20 and then a 5. So it's like throwing away a resource. But, you don't know that until you make it. So.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing +2 for inspiration instead of advantage, but you could spend multiples at a time to get up to a +6. And then that would just add on to your roll, just because there's so much stuff that gives advantage already. So you could spend
would you allow sneak attack if someone used inspiration for an attack as a rogue?
Yeah, I mean you just need advantage. So
that kind of would work, okay?
Yeah, as long as you hit, you would get sneak attack.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel like it might be more challenging to just do like a flat bonus to a roll.
I agree.
And then there'd
Yeah.
be like I would say you'd have up to 10 inspiration points, and you could spend up to 3 at a time as like an action or once per short rest.
I think advantage is good. It's just sometimes you end up using it where you didn't need to. But
Yeah.
I think it has a potential to be more game changing than.
I think it is also
+2.
quite reasonable. It's also quite easy to get. Like unlike story points, it's quite easy
Right.
to get. Like you're getting like multiple a session. Like even today we got like 2, right? One for Nil and one for you. So like those things accumulate quite rapidly. So it is not as like precious a resource as a story point,
Right.
for example.
Right.
Yeah, and one of the reasons I don't like the raw rules for inspiration is because like you can only have one at a time, and like like Ian was saying, you could be like, oh, I really want to do well on this roll, and then you spend it, and it's like, oh, I rolled like a 20 and a 5, so it feels like it was a waste.
Yeah.
So I almost
I will say, yeah, having more of them makes that less gut wrenching.
yeah, and I don't know. I like, just having the one. Although it does make it a little bit more powerful if you can have multiples, because then you could get inspiration way more often, which is why I was considering making it a flat bonus instead of inspiration.
Well, I think as long as it's proactive and not reactive. I mean, that's how some games do it, is you can basically lucky it, but in that case, having a stockpile would allow you to recover a shit ton of garbage rolls, which kind of then gets away from, the heart of the cards.
How would you feel
so to
about
speak.
it, like setting a minimum you can roll to instead?
Like a take 10?
Well,
Oh,
kind
interesting.
of.
Like
But
a
you can
like a
spend
reliable
more
talent?
to increase that amount, right? So if you spend 1 inspiration, it's like 10. If you spend 2, it goes to 12. 3 goes to 14, and then you can.
It's an interesting idea. I wouldn't be against that idea per se. I just have to think on it a little, because I do think the way I do it now is a little overpowered, being able to stockpile inspirations. I think that's one of the limiting factors of inspiration, is having only one. So like, either have it or you don't, and you can use it to get inspiration once in a while. But I think it also feels shitty if you don't use it and then you just say, well, I guess I can't get it anymore until I use it. So I don't know.
I think it balances out as is. I think it's a decent system.
You mean as it is for raw, or as I do it?
As you do it, yeah.
Okay.
If you could only have one, I would personally allow it as lucky, because then you're guaranteed not to spend it when you didn't need to. But if you have several, then it's like any other resource, and you have to anticipate. It's like
So
precision attack or something like that. Like
it'd be more like a story point. Then you do a reroll instead of advantage.
Right, but I think then you're just duplicating something you already have. So I think how it is, it makes the most sense in my mind.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna head out, and we'll see you guys next week.
Okay. Yeah.
Bye.
See ya. Thanks.
Have a good night, everyone.
Yeah, you too. Yeah.